Chapter 1744. Who cares what technique he uses, as long as he can defeat you? Update soon, no ads. Qin Feng was overjoyed. It seemed like the soul-devouring eyes attack was not just for show. Another few slashes landed. The powerful divine sense attack made Fei Baisong feel like his head was about to explode. He couldn't even dodge the invisible sword now. Loud sounds came from his body, and his clothes were in tatters. His originally elegant long hair was disheveled, and he looked battered and exhausted. All the Fei family members were stunned. Even though they saw it with their own eyes, they still felt like they were dreaming. City Lord Fei was a late-stage Buddha light venerable. It was only a matter of time before he reached the true spirit realm. Ever since the Fei family took over Fei City, no one dared to challenge City Lord Fei's authority, let alone beat him up like this. Before the Fei family could react, they heard City Lord Fei begging for mercy. "Don't fight anymore. Stop now. We can discuss this further." A strange aura floated outside the Fei family. City Lord Fei was begging for mercy to a kid not even 30 years old. If this got out, the Fei family wouldn't be able to stay in Fei City anymore. But this was the truth. Even when Fei Baisong begged, Qin Feng didn't agree. His attacks became more ferocious. He realized that Fei Baisong was only begging for mercy. If he really stopped his divine sense attack, who knew if this old thing would suddenly counterattack? Qin Feng didn't dare to be careless in front of a late-stage Buddha light cultivator. When the new round of attacks landed, Fei Baisong's screams became even more miserable. Because his divine sense was severely damaged, it was difficult for him to gather the aura in his body. Even his movements had slowed down. He was like a live target that was being beaten until he was on the verge of collapse. "Young hero Qin, please have mercy. There was only a misunderstanding between us. I am willing to apologize. Please stop." Fei Baisong was begging before, but his tone was indifferent. Now, he was really begging for mercy. He was just short of kneeling in front of Qin Feng. This time, not only were the Fei family disciples shocked, but Hu Fei's eyes were wide open. His sea medicine sect had been developing in Fei City for a long time, and he knew that the Fei City Lord's power was not to be trifled with. But now, Fei Baisong no longer had any power to speak of. He was like a stray dog that was battered and exhausted. Boom! Qin Feng did not stop. Instead, he launched an even more ferocious attack. When the genie sword landed, a loud explosion rang out. However, only Fei Baisong could hear this sound. This was because the explosion had come from his brain. It was as if his sea of consciousness had exploded. Immediately, Fei Baisong felt his entire body go limp, and he knelt on the ground. His eyes were empty and lifeless, and the aura of power that seemed to be there and not there had completely disappeared. He looked no different from a weak old man. City Lord Fei, the disciples of the Fei family were shocked. Fei Shan glared at Qin Feng and attacked with his palm. However, before he could execute his attack, Qin Feng swung his sword. Fei Shan's body stiffened, and his eyes were filled with disbelief. He was still wondering why City Lord Fei was defeated so suddenly, but now, he finally understood the power of Qin Feng's sword. Bang! The sound of an explosion reverberated in Fei Shan's mind. He was only at the intermediate stage of the Buddha light realm, so Qin Feng's full power strike was enough to destroy his sea of consciousness. The Fei family's sect leader and great elder knelt on the ground and cried bitterly. The disciples of the Fei family looked on in confusion. "Great Elder Fei Shan, what happened to you?" "City Lord Fei, kill those two guys first. It's not too late to cry later." "Young hero Qin, what's going on?" Hu Fei had already arrived beside Qin Feng, and he was also at a loss. Qin Fan didn't want to reveal the secret of the Genie sword. After all, a divine sense attack was too heaven-defying. Only those who had stepped into the true spirit realm could barely use it. Buddha Light Realm cultivators shouldn't even think about using it. In everyone's eyes, Qin Fan was only a cultivator at the second transformation of the Buddha Light Realm. If Hua Fei was told that he used a divine sense attack to defeat City Lord Fei, he would probably be scared to death. Can we negotiate properly now? Qin Fan's expression turned cold as he glanced at the kneeling Fei Baisong and Fei Shan. Fei Shan's divine sense was more damaged than Fei Baisong's. He was in so much pain that he couldn't even speak. Fei Baisong endured the pain and said, "Young hero Qin, this is all the Fei family's fault. Please show mercy." This sentence shocked all the disciples of the Fei family. No matter how stupid they were, they could tell that City Lord Fei was defeated. However, they couldn't figure out how their City Lord lost. If you had been enlightened earlier, you wouldn't have to suffer. Qin Fan snorted and continued, "The Huaxia Chamber of Commerce is not a tyrannical force. If it wasn't for your Fei family obstructing our development, I wouldn't have come to your door. Then do as I said. Compensate me and sect leader Hua 10 million high-grade spirit stones each. In the future, the Fei family will not only not obstruct the Huaxia Chamber of Commerce's development in Fei City, but will also do our best to help. As long as you perform well, I have a way to repair your damaged divine sense." Fei Baisong suddenly became excited. He didn't care about Qin Fan's words. Whether it was 20 million spirit stones or helping the Huaxia Chamber of Commerce's development, these were all trivial matters to him. He was worried about his damaged divine sense. He realized that he might be stuck at the early stage of the 9 changes Buddha aura for the rest of his life. However, he didn't expect Qin Fan to say that he could repair the divine sense. This was a shocking thing. In the entire northern sand continent, there was nothing that could repair the divine sense. At most, there were a few rare pills that could repair the divine sense, but the effects weren't very obvious. Qin Fan could see the doubt in Fei Baisong's eyes. Without waiting for him to speak, Qin Fan continued, "You should know that I was the one who made the spirit surge pill, right?" Fei Baisong's expression changed. He exclaimed, "Young hero Qin, could it be that you can also make a pill that can repair the divine sense?" As soon as this was said, all the disciples of the Fei family were shocked. If Qin Fan could really make such a pill, the commotion wouldn't be any less than the spirit surge pill. One had to know that the consciousness accumulation pill and the consciousness insight pill were rare pills in the northern sand continent. However, these 2 pills could only strengthen the divine sense. They didn't have any healing effects. A few months ago, at the Pill City's Pill Store Conference, the Treasure Pill House's trump card was a Vitality Pill. That Vitality Pill was extremely rare. It could repair the divine sense, but it couldn't repair the divine sense. One had to know that the divine sense and the divine sense were worlds apart. From this, it could be seen how shocking it would be if something that could repair the divine sense appeared in the world. "Young hero Qin, as long as you can help me repair my divine sense, this old man will do anything to repay you in the future." At this point, Fei Shan couldn't care less about his bullshit reputation as the great elder. He looked at Qin Feng with a pitiful expression. He didn't want his cultivation to be stuck at the Buddha Radiance 5 transformations forever. Chapter 1745. Qin Feng didn't lie to Fei Baisong and Fei Shan. In that book, there was a pill recipe for healing the sea of consciousness. The pill was called the Fragrant Consciousness Pill. The Spiritual Fragrance Pill was a grade 1/7 imperial pill. Its main effect was to repair one's divine sense. In fact, Qin Fan had seen the recipe a long time ago. Unfortunately, refining the spiritual fragrance pill required 2 kinds of precious grade 6 spiritual herbs. He had not been able to find them, so he could not refine it. At the same time, Qin Fen realized that the northern sand continent had too little knowledge of medicinal pills. Moreover, the pill recipes were very complicated, so the quality of the pills was on the high side. Furthermore, the quality of the pills recorded in the book was on the low side. For example, the spiritual charge pill that Qin Fen had concocted not long ago was a pill that could cause a sensation in the northern sand continent. However, it was only a level 4 grade 6 golden pill. As for the spiritual scent pill, it would cause a commotion in the northern sand continent as well. Qin Fen could not help but ponder. Could it be that this book was not a product of this era? It could be a secret book of medicinal pills that existed thousands of years ago. At that time, there were many medicinal pills on the divine continent. Even the spirit surge pill and the spiritual fragrance pill were common items. This idea was too shocking. Qin Fen shook his head and did not dare to think about it. If that was the case, then the divine continent's power was beyond his imagination. Young hero Qin, can you say something? Fei Shan and Fei Baisong stared at Qin Fen like 2 little children. Qin Fen regained his composure and pretended to be an expert. Since I dared to say this, I naturally have a way to repair your divine sense. As for the specifics, you don't need to ask. Why would I tell you such a secret? Fei Shan and Fei Baisong's hearts sank. Their anticipation disappeared. Deep down in their hearts, they still didn't believe Qin Fen. After all, repairing one's divine knowledge was just too shocking. The 2 of them had lived for so long, but they had never seen such a thing happen. However, they had no other choice and could only compromise for the time being. At the same time, Fei Baisong thought of Long Qianjun. He felt that with Senior Long's miraculous alchemy skills, he might really be able to refine an elixir that could repair one's spiritual sea. Don't worry, young hero Qin. Today's conflict was all a misunderstanding. From now on, the Fei clan is willing to be friends with young hero Qin and form an alliance with the Chinese Chamber of Commerce. Fei Baisong immediately expressed goodwill. Even if Qin Fen did not agree to heal his divine sense, he would not dare to offend Qin Fen now. Things had changed so quickly that the Fei family disciples were still in a daze. Unlike Fei Shan, they hadn't personally experienced the Zhenyi sword's divine sense attack, so they couldn't understand why the Castellan and Grand Elder had surrendered. When Qin Fen and Huo Fei first arrived, they were blocked at the entrance by the Fei family. Now, City Lord Fei and the Grand Elder personally welcomed them. The disciples had left and Fei clan brought the 2 to the hall. Clan. Fei and Baisong and to Fei. Young hero Qin, please wait for a moment. I've already asked Great Elder Fei Shan to retrieve the spirit stones. He'll bring them over immediately. Fei Baisong's attitude had completely changed. It was as if he was facing a senior. Young hero Qin, please wait. I have asked Fei Shan to get the spirit stones. They will be here soon. Fei Baisong's attitude changed. He was as humble as a senior. Qin Fen did not care about the 20 million spirit stones. He only wanted the Fei clan's attitude. They would not hinder the development of the Chinese Chamber of Commerce in the future. Qin Fen came to Fei City to see the development of the Chinese Chamber of Commerce. He also wanted to ask Huo Fei about the Merchant City Chamber of Commerce. Leader Huo, how much do you know about the Merchant City Chamber of Commerce? Qin Fen asked. Chairman Qin, are you going to participate in the Merchant City Chamber of Commerce? If you want to develop the Chinese Chamber of Commerce, you must go. Huo Fei was excited. If Qin Fen did not come to him, he would have mentioned it to him. Every year, the Merchant City Chamber of Commerce gathers all the big and small chambers of commerce in the northern sand continent. Based on the size of their forces, they choose the top 10 chambers of commerce in the northern sand continent. It's similar to the Pill City Chamber of Commerce. Huo Fei explained in detail. Qin Fan had a general understanding of the situation. The Chamber of Commerce competed on the territories and industries they owned. The top 10 chambers of commerce in the northern sand continent were involved in a wide range of industries. For example, the number 1 chamber of commerce in the northern sand continent, the Dragon Chamber of Commerce, not only sold pills and weapons, but they also sold goods, teleportation, protection, and so on. Qin Fan wanted to use the spirit charge pill to increase the reputation of the Chinese Chamber of Commerce. But now, it seemed that selling pills alone was not enough. The Chamber of Commerce competed on the overall strength. To put it simply, even if everyone knew that the Chinese Chamber of Commerce sold good pills, they would only buy pills. If they wanted to advertise other businesses, the Chinese Chamber of Commerce would not accept them. If that was the case, what was the difference between the Chinese Chamber of Commerce and the pill shop? Qin Fan did not need to think about it. I did want to go to the Merchant City Chamber of Commerce. I wanted to bring the spirit charge pill, but it seems like it is not enough. Qin Fan was not afraid that Fei Baisong would know about this. Before Fei Baisong's sea of consciousness recovered, he would not dare to do anything. Huo Fei immediately suggested, President Qin, the top 10 chambers of commerce in the northern sand continent all rely on the transportation of goods. The most profitable and fastest way to develop a chamber of commerce is also through teleportation. Why don't we start with this? Fei Baisong, who had not dared to speak carelessly, added, Sect leader Hua is right. If the Chamber of Commerce wants to develop, we have to start with teleportation. I have the final say in Fei City. If President Qin does not mind, we can use Fei City as one of the teleportation points. At first, Qin Fan did not understand what teleportation was. But as he listened, he understood. The so-called teleportation and transportation of goods in the northern sand continent was equivalent to a delivery on Earth. Qin Fan was speechless. It seemed that the transportation industry was not only developed on Earth. It was essential in every plane. However, it was not as easy to do transportation in the northern sand continent as it was on Earth. After some questioning, Qin Fan realized that the top 10 chambers of commerce in the northern sand continent had developed the transportation industry for tens of years. Not only did they rely on manpower to transport goods, they also built their own teleportation formations. Teleportation formations were the main force of the transportation industry. Because it took less time, it was safer than transporting goods. Long-distance teleportation formations are level 6 formations. Do those chambers of commerce have level 6 formation masters? Qin Fan frowned. He realized that developing a chamber of commerce was much harder than he had imagined. He definitely could not build level 6 teleportation formations. At most, he could build a few level 4 teleportation formations. Chapter 1746. Huo Fei shook his head and said, there are even fewer array sects in the northern sand region than alchemy sections. It said that the most powerful array master can only refine a level 5 spiritual array, and there's no level 6 array master. Those large chambers of commerce don't build their own teleportation arrays. Many of them seek help from array formation sects. Some of them go to other continents to find high-grade array disks and bring them back for array formation sects to complete. Not long ago, Qin Fan had obtained a grade 5 formation plate from the Pear Continent auction house. Normally, this kind of formation plate could be completed by a grade 3 formation master. However, high-grade formation plates were extremely rare. At the very least, it was hard to buy one in the northern sand continent. It was obvious that the resources of the other 3 continents of the Divine Continent were much richer than the northern sand continent. However, Qin Feng did not pay too much attention to the formation disk. He noticed another important thing. According to what Hua Fei had said, the few large merchant associations in the northern Sand Continent seemed to be able to travel to the other 3 continents. From what Qin Feng had heard, there were only 2 ways to go to the other continents. One was to step into the true spirit realm, and the other was to obtain a recommendation from the largest merchant association. No matter how fast Qin Feng broke through, he still needed a period of time to reach the true spirit realm. As for getting a recommendation from the biggest merchant association in the North Sand Continent, it was even more unrealistic. This caused Qin Feng to give up on his plan to look for Hua Xianyu in the South Flat Continent. Who would have thought that he would suddenly find a new way? What scale does the Chamber of Commerce have to reach in order to go to other continents? Qin Feng hurriedly asked. Fei Baisong rushed to say, President Qin, I know this. Only those that have obtained a spot in the Northern Sand Continent's top 10 commerce associations are qualified to do business in other continents. Qin Fen was puzzled. The Northern Sand Continent is the least developed continent in the Divine Supreme Continent. Is there a need for other continents to do business with us? The 2 of them looked at Qin Feng strangely, mainly because this question sounded a bit idiotic. Hua Fei said respectfully, President Qin, although the Northern Sand Continent is lacking in resources, every continent has its own unique resources. For example, the Black Demon Mountain in the Northern Sand Continent has black demons. These beasts only exist in the Northern Sand Continent. The other 3 continents don't have them. Also, the scarlet flower fruit is the main ingredient for refining the scarlet flower pill. Only the Northern Sand Continent has it. If the other continents want it, they can only purchase it through the merchant associations. After the explanation, Qin Feng was suddenly enlightened. He understood many things. It was no wonder that the cultivators of the North Sand region had the lowest cultivation realms, the slowest cultivation speed, and the least number of genius cultivators. On one hand, it was due to the lack of spiritual qi, and on the other hand, it was due to the scarcity of pills. This was because some spiritual herbs did not even grow in the Northern Sand region, so how could they be used to concoct those pills? The more Qin Feng understood the benefits of a well-established Chamber of Commerce, the more motivated he was to develop the Huaxia Chamber of Commerce. Moreover, there were missions for the Chamber of Commerce in the system. Then let's start with transportation. Do you have any suggestions? There were many places in the Northern Sand region that Qin Fen did not understand. He wanted to see what Hua Fei and Hua Yu thought. The 2 of them were unfamiliar with the term transport. In the Northern Sands continent, it was called transport. However, they followed Qin Fen's way of saying it. President Qin, if you want to do transportation, you need a territory first. Right now, we only have 1 transportation point in Pace City. I'm afraid it's too shabby, Hua Fei said bitterly. Qin Feng thought for a moment and said, do you guys know Luoyang City? I can also take over that place. There's also Flower City, Fire City, Spirit Immortal Kingdom, Pill City. Qin Fen told her all the places he had been to. Many of the markets and cities he had close ties with. They were either friends or enemies. However, no matter what, if Qin Fen wanted to, he could set up a transportation point there. Hua Fei and Fei Baisong were shocked. They did not expect Qin Feng to be able to take over so many territories at such a young age. However, the 2 of them quickly revealed looks of helplessness. Although Qin Fen had provided them with many regions, the cities and markets were too far away from each other, and some of them were not connected at all. It was incredibly difficult to connect all of these places together. Hua Fei pointed out the problem, and Qin Feng also realized that it was indeed difficult. Transportation in the Northern Sands continent was different from Earth. On Earth, one had to cover a wide area and have a lot of networks to set up a transportation line. However, in the Northern Sands continent, there was a cruel problem. This was because every city and area had their own sects and families. If the transportation line was too far away, it was very likely that they would be robbed. The Divine Supreme Continent was a place where the strong preyed on the weak. Now that the Chinese Chamber of Commerce was in its infancy, it was best to control the transportation line within a small area. Otherwise, they could only suffer in silence. The three of them did not know what to do. Huo Fei seemed to be talking to himself as he muttered, "Sigh. It would be great if we could take over the River Chuan area. That would definitely be a treasure." At the mention of the River Chuan area, Fei Baisong's eyes also lit up. That would definitely be a treasure. However, let's not think about it. Even the Northern Sands Continent's #1 Chamber of Commerce, the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce, could not take over that area. We definitely can't do it either. Fei Baisong was indeed a wily old fox. He even used "we" when he spoke. He was trying to get closer to Qin Feng. However, Qin Feng did not care about this. His eyes lit up. Wasn't the River Chuan area marked on the Purple Cloud Valley map? River Chuan area. Is it the area that leads to Bailing Spirit Mountain? Qin Feng planned to go to Bailing Spirit Mountain after he was done with the Chamber of Commerce. The two of them nodded. Huo Fei said, "It's there. Because Bailing Spirit Mountain is known as a forbidden area, that area has never been able to be opened. If Bailing Spirit Mountain can be opened, we can save half the time needed to reach the western region of the North Sand Continent." Qin Feng immediately understood the importance of the River Chuan area. On Earth, transportation was also very important. In order to reduce the transportation time, they would invest a lot of money to open up roads. The Chamber of Commerce still has 5 days. Will we make it if we go to Bailing Spirit Mountain now? Qin Feng decided to leave immediately. Huo Fei and Fei Baisong looked at Qin Feng in confusion. They had no idea what he was going to do. "Chairman Qin, you're not going to open up the Bailing Spirit Mountain area, are you? Let's go check out the situation first. If we really can't open it, then we'll talk about it." Qin Feng was not stupid. He knew that Bailing Spirit Mountain was extremely dangerous. Otherwise, the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce would have opened up this treasure land long ago. However, he still planned to go take a look. Risk and opportunity coexisted. The greater the risk, the more heaven-defying the opportunity. Fei Baisong and Huo Fei were speechless. They looked at Qin Feng as if he was a monster. "Chairman Qin, don't blame me for speaking the truth. With our current strength, I'm afraid we'll die before we reach Bailing Spirit Mountain," Fei Baisong said carefully. Qin Feng remembered what Elder Su had said before. There seemed to be a huge spirit vein hidden underground in the River Chuan area. The surrounding spirit qi was dense, and there were many markets and cities built there. It was definitely a place where good and bad mixed together. If they wanted to reach Bailing Spirit Mountain, they had to go through the River Chuan route. It seemed that the dangers of this route were enough to scare off many factions. "Chairman Qin, you might not know this, but there are more than 10 5-star sects and 20 to 30 5-star families in the River Chuan area. There are at least 100 4-star factions, and countless 3-star factions. Rumor has it that the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce's chairman Long personally sent out 100 Buddha's Light Realm experts to open up the River Chuan route. In the end, they had no choice but to give up after reaching the middle section. Only 40 or 50 of the 100 people managed to escape. It was a huge loss. Qin Feng was dumbfounded. Only now did he realize how powerful the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce was. It was actually able to gather 100 Buddha's Light Realm experts. He suddenly thought of the system's #1 Chamber of Commerce quest. No wonder the main quest rewarded 10 million Hedonist points. It was so difficult. After talking for a while, Qin Feng realized that his previous thoughts were too laughable. Although he was a genius, he would never be arrogant. The soaring dragon chamber of commerce's 100 Buddha's light realm experts couldn't even complete the quest. Qin Feng knew that he would be sending himself to his death if he went. However, it wasn't Qin Feng's personality to give up just like that. His thoughts spun quickly. He felt that there was an idea in his mind. As long as he grasped it, he might be able to solve this problem. Sigh. It'd be great if all the factions in the River Chuan area submitted to us. Huo Fei was also thinking of a countermeasure, but he had no clue. He sighed. Sect leader Hua, stop dreaming. That kind of pie falling from the sky won't happen in the divine continent. Fei Baisong smiled bitterly. However, it was Huo Fei's words that made a white light flash in Qin Feng's mind. That's right. Why do we have to fight to the death? Just make the factions in the River Chuan area submit to us. Fei Baisong and Huo Fei rolled their eyes. They were always shocked speechless by Qin Feng's words. President Qin, that's impossible. I was just imagining things. Don't take it seriously. Huo Fei hurriedly tried to dissuade him. Sometimes, he felt that Qin Feng was an idiot. However, Qin Feng said seriously, I'm not joking. We're here to subdue the factions in the River Chuan area. Yeah. President Qin, how do we subdue them? Fei Baisong was very worried about Qin Feng, but he couldn't help but sneer at Qin Feng's thoughts. Qin Feng didn't mind. He analyzed, there's nothing that can't be done. There are only conditions that can't be negotiated. As long as we can offer conditions that can attract the factions in the River Chuan area, I believe they'll take the initiative to cooperate with us. Huo Fei and Fei Baisong's expressions gradually changed. They felt that Qin Feng's words made sense. President Qin, what conditions can we offer them? Fei Baisong asked. Is the spirit enhancement pill enough? What about the primary enhancement pill? The consciousness enhancement pill? I can refine elixirs of the imperial grade and below, and I also have level 4 and below formation plates. If that's not enough, I can even refine spirit weapons. I also have a lot of spirit stones. I'm not afraid that I won't be able to satisfy those factions. Huo Fei and Fei Baisong were stunned. They knew Qin Feng was rich, but they didn't expect him to be this rich. Just the spirit enhancement pill alone was enough to win over most of the factions. As for formation plates and spirit weapons, President Qin could actually refine them. What kind of monster was he? President Qin, you're not joking, right? Chapter 1747. Aren't you joking? You were obviously joking just now. This was what Fei Baisong and Huo Fei thought, but no one dared to say it out loud. Huo Fei asked carefully, but only formation masters and blacksmiths can forge array discs and spiritual equipment. Do we have any formation masters and blacksmiths in the China Chamber of Commerce? Those kinds of people are rare in the northern sand continent. It's not easy to find them. Fei Baisong nodded and didn't say anything, agreeing with what Huo Fei said. Qin Feng said disapprovingly, why do we need to find them? I can refine pills, forge weapons, and refine array discs. The two were speechless and looked at Qin Feng speechlessly. They didn't know what to say, thinking that this person was boasting a little too much. They obviously didn't believe Qin Feng. Even if Qin Feng had shown many shocking talents, but in the entire northern sand continent, there were countless geniuses among the billions of cultivators. However, they had never heard of a cultivator with 3 professions at the same time. Who knew if there were such geniuses in the other 3 continents? You don't believe me? I'll set up a spirit gathering array now. Qin Feng saw the meaning in their eyes. As he spoke, he took out a few array flags and placed them in the corner of the room. Then, he placed a few spirit stones into them. Because he used the purple serene flames and set up a simple level 3 spirit gathering array, the time it took to set up the array was extremely fast. Wang! In just half an incense's time, a strange energy wave rippled through the room. Fei Baisong and Huafei's doubtful expressions had yet to fade, but they were suddenly filled with shock. I feel like the spiritual energy around me is getting thicker. What's going on? Huafei exclaimed. Fei Baisong had the highest cultivation level, so he could clearly feel the change in the spiritual energy. His eyes almost fell out of their sockets. This is a level 3 spirit gathering array. President Qin is really a formation master. And he set up this array in such a short time. If I'm not wrong, President Qin should be a level 4 formation master, right? Level 4 formation master. What kind of joke was this? Huafei was shocked to death. Qin Feng always gave him a huge surprise every now and then. Only now did Fei Baisong realize how big of a mistake he had made. He had actually allowed the Fei family to go against the Chinese Chamber of Commerce. Although Qin Feng was only at the second transformation of the Buddhist aura, he was a level 4 array master. He could easily destroy the entire Fei family and even Fei city with a single word. There's no need to show us how to forge weapons. Let's talk about how to rope in the forces of Jiang Chuan. Qin Feng, on the other hand, had a calm and indifferent expression, as if casually setting up a level 3 spirit gathering formation was not worth mentioning. Huafei and Fei Baisong were stunned for a long time before they regained their senses. The shock in their hearts was difficult to subside. Chairman Qin, Fei City is actually the easternmost starting point of the Jiang Chuan area. I have a few old acquaintances in the nearby areas. I believe that with my reputation and the bait that Chairman Qin has thrown out, those old fellows will choose to cooperate with us, Fei Baisong said. Huafei also became spirited. He never thought that something that was completely impossible would become possible with just a few words from Qin Feng. Chairman Qin, I also have some acquaintances in this area. I'll go and straighten out my connections. Before Huafei could leave, Qin Feng stopped him. Wait, don't negotiate like you're begging them. It's best if they beg to join our Huaxia Chamber of Commerce. You can make the Chamber of Commerce into a shareholding system. Everyone can buy in, and at the end of the year, you'll get a bonus based on the number of shares you have. Qin Feng was planning to use the business methods from Earth on the Divine Supreme Continent. However, Fei Baisong and Huafei were confused. Chairman Qin, what's a shareholding system? How do we buy in? How do we get a bonus? Huafei was confused. Qin Feng slapped his forehead. He just remembered that this was the Divine Supreme Continent. Talking to these two guys about a shareholding system was like playing the lute to a cow. You guys go back and make the plans first. I'll call a helper and then we'll move. Qin Feng planned to call Han Ying over. This woman was the real expert in business. In terms of business, even 10 Qin Fengs couldn't compare to her. The Spirit Immortal Kingdom was very far from Fei City, but Han Ying arrived in 2 days. This speed was beyond Qin Feng's expectations. However, when he saw who came with her, he understood. Alright, old bro. Are you used to staying in the Spirit Immortal Kingdom? After the Pill City Pill Workshop Conference, Xing Fang went to the Spirit Immortal Kingdom. During this period of time, with him guarding the Spirit Immortal Kingdom, no one dared to cause trouble. When Xing Fang left, he was at the 7 changes of Buddha's aura. Qin Feng sensed that he had stepped into the 8 changes of Buddha's aura. Congratulations on breaking through to the 8 changes of Buddha's aura, old bro. Qin Feng was happy from the bottom of his heart. Xing Fang patted Qin Feng's shoulder and smiled. This is all thanks to the pills you gave me, old bro, otherwise, how could I have broken through so quickly? Old bro, don't be so courteous with me. I like the Spirit Immortal Kingdom very much. It's remote and suitable for cultivation. Also, the Spirit Immortal Kingdom is very abundant. From now on, the Spirit Immortal Kingdom will be my home. If anyone dares to cause trouble, Xing Fang will be the first to object. After Xing Fang announced his name, Fei Baisong and Huo Fei suddenly came to their senses. So this burly man in front of them was the Northern Sand Continent's famous Dan King Xing Fang. So it's Senior Xing. Please forgive me for not coming out to greet you. Fei Baisong hurriedly went forward to greet him. He felt a lingering fear in his heart. Someone dared to have designs on the Huaxia Chamber of Commerce. Any random helper Qin Feng called was a Dan King at the later stage of the Buddha's light. Xing Fang rolled his eyes at Fei Baisong and grumbled, "You're the city lord of Fei City. Why are you greeting me? Can't you see your sister-in-law is here?" Fei Baisong looked at Han Ying and was shocked. So this woman had an even greater background. She was Qin Feng's woman. So it's the president's wife. Quick, sit. Han Ying didn't sit. She held on to Qin Feng's arm tightly and didn't let go. Originally, when they found out that Qin Feng wanted to develop the Jiangchuan area, the women and brothers of the Spirit Immortal Kingdom wanted to come and help. But considering the long journey, they could only bring Han Ying along to avoid any accidents along the way. Seeing that the Merchant City Chamber of Commerce would start in 3 days, Qin Feng spent some time with Han Ying before getting down to business. Han Ying lived up to her reputation as a business queen. She proposed many strategies. She also agreed with Qin Feng's idea of developing the Merchant City Chamber of Commerce. She also explained the situation of the Merchant City Chamber of Commerce in detail to Huo Fei and the others. Fei Baisong and Huo Fei were a bit worried when they saw Qin Feng bring a woman over. They even suspected that Qin Feng was too lonely to bear, so he brought a woman over to vent. But after hearing Han Ying's words, the two of them admired her. This woman's business acumen was too strong. Chapter 1748. After Qin Feng and the others had planned out their development strategy in detail and worked out the terms of the shares, there were only 2 days left before the Merchant City Chamber of Commerce would begin. Pei City was at least a day and a half away from the Merchant City, so Qin Feng and the others split up. Qin Feng went to the Merchant City by himself, while Han Ying took everyone to River Creek to gather power. The Merchant City was even more prosperous than Qin Feng had imagined, especially since the Chamber of Commerce was just around the corner. Many cultivators from other city squares had come to join in the fun. Walking on the streets of Merchant City, there were cultivators setting up stalls on both sides of the street. Pills, spirit tools, cultivation methods and secret manuals were all available. As long as you could think of something, there was nothing the stalls could not sell. The Dragon's Ore Chamber of Commerce is conducting business. Those who don't want to die, make way. A group of tall cultivators riding on blood-colored spirit horses galloped over. Because both sides of the street were filled with stalls, the road appeared a bit narrow. However, the group of horses didn't care about that at all. They charged forward like crazy, trampling some of the stalls into a mess. However, the stall owners didn't dare to do anything. What's so great about the Longting Chamber of Commerce? They're too arrogant. It's not like they own them all, someone complained in a low voice. Don't say any more. Do you want to die? Those are people from the Dragon's Ore Chamber of Commerce. If they hear you, you won't even know how you died. Tomorrow is the day of the Merchant City's Chamber of Commerce. Rumor has it that the #1 Chamber of Commerce in the Northern Sands region will be the Dragon's Ore Chamber of Commerce. The cultivators in this group were all wearing black robes with a black dragon embroidered on one of the sleeves. Their appearance caused a commotion on the street, and the cultivators who were setting up stalls and buying things retreated far away. Bang! Suddenly, a muffled sound rang out from the street. Following that, many cultivators cried out in shock. There was also a miserable cry of pain. An old man was sent flying by a blood-colored horse. How tragic! Riding and flying have always been prohibited on this street. The people from the Dragonsaur Chamber of Commerce don't seem to be abiding by the rules of the city at all. TSK. Merchant City was about to become the Dragonsaur Chamber of Commerce's territory. Why would they care about the rules? They are the ones who set the rules. I wonder if that old man is dead or not. I can only say that he was unlucky to be bumped into by someone from the Dragonsaur Chamber of Commerce. The old man who was hit landed on the ground not far from Qin Feng's feet. Originally, Qin Feng had no intention of getting involved in such matters. It was not that he was cold-hearted, but that he had a conflict with the Dragonrise Chamber of Commerce. This time, he came to the Chamber of Commerce with Jing Shuai's appearance because he was afraid of being recognized. However, when Qin Feng casually glanced at the old man's face, his expression changed, and he flew to the old man's side. Grandpa Dongfang Mingwang. Is it really you? Qin Feng was stunned. He didn't expect to meet an acquaintance here, and it was his woman's grandfather. The old man's fall was not light, mainly because his cultivation level was too low. He was only at stage 4 celestial qi, while the cultivator who knocked him had already stepped into stage 9 Saint King. Even the aura of that cultivator could injure the old man. The old man, who was on the verge of death, suddenly opened his eyes wide and looked at Qin Feng in confusion. You, who are you? How do you know my name? Qin Feng confirmed the old man's identity. He was indeed Grandpa Dongfang. It seemed like Grandpa Dongfang had also come to the Divine Continent through the formation. I'm Qin Feng. Qin Feng whispered into Dongfang Mingwang's ear. He still had the appearance of Jing Shuai. You are Feng. Dongfang Mingwang's eyes almost popped out. He stared at Qin Feng, wondering how his grandson-in-law had become so ugly. Qin Feng's eyes instantly turned red. Ever since he came to the Divine Continent, he had never heard anyone call him Feng. When he was in China, Qin Huang and his grandfather, Qin Shitian, called him that. At this moment, Qin Feng felt like he had returned to China, which he missed day and night. Grandpa Dongfang, don't talk. Lie down and rest for a while. Your grandson will help you get justice. Qin Feng stuffed a few healing pills into Dongfang Mingwang's mouth, then stood up and blocked the road like a mountain. Thud, thud, thud. The hurried sound of horse hooves could be heard. The group of disciples from the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce did not stop even after knocking into someone. Damn it! Are you blind, kid? Get out of the way. Junior brother Long Hu, why are you talking nonsense with him? If he doesn't give way, just knock yourself to death. They are just a bunch of ants anyway. The man who knocked Dongfang Mingwang said arrogantly. It was obvious that he did not take Qin Feng seriously. That junior brother Long Hu's face turned cold. He whipped his horse, and the blood-red horse charged at Qin Feng crazily. Its speed was as fast as an arrow. Sighs could be heard from the surroundings. Many people looked at Qin Feng with sympathy, as if they could see him being knocked away in the next second. Rumble. However, there was a sudden explosion. The commotion was like a lightning strike, scaring the crowd. Instantly, their eyeballs and jaws dropped to the ground. Qin Feng was standing on the same spot without moving an inch, while the disciple named Long Hu was sent flying with his horse, knocking over 5 or 6 blood-red horses that followed behind him. The noisy street suddenly quieted down. However, it did not last for 3 seconds before a tsunami of exclamations erupted. Ah! That young man attacked. He actually dared to attack the people from the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce. This kid is ugly, but I didn't expect him to be so daring. He even dared to hit the disciples of the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce. His strength is also ferocious. He knocked over 5 rank 4 spirit horses with one punch. Sigh. He's still young and impetuous. This young man originally had a bright future, but now he's going to be a dead man. There were all sorts of discussions that could not be stopped. However, most of them were voices that did not look favorably upon Qin Feng. Who asked him to offend such a powerful force, the #1 Chamber of Commerce in the Northern Sand region? Just this title alone could scare hundreds of millions of cultivators to death. The spirit horses were startled and screeched. There were 4 or 5 disciples of the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce who reacted in time and avoided Long Hu's charge. When these people stabilized the spirit horses, they immediately cast fierce gazes at Qin Feng. The disciple who knocked Dongfang Ming Wang earlier was already cursing loudly. "Stinking brat, are you tired of living?" The entire street was already so crowded that not even a drop of water could trickle through. When the news spread, cultivators from the other streets also rushed over. Someone actually dared to go against the disciples of the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce. Everyone really wanted to see who this person was. However, after seeing Qin Feng's attire and appearance, everyone was instantly disappointed. It turned out that he was an idiot who was not afraid of death. This kind of ant would probably be chopped into pieces in less than half an incense stick's time. Qin Feng originally wanted to enter the city quietly and wait for the Chamber of Commerce to start. However, things did not go as he wished. He had only stepped into the city for less than an incense stick's time, but he had already caused such a huge commotion. However, Qin Feng did not regret it at all. The moment he recognized Dongfang Ming Wang, he already had killing intent towards the disciples of the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce. What are you waiting for? Hurry up and commit suicide to atone for your sins. Otherwise, when I make a move, I'll make you wish you were dead. The leading cultivator shouted angrily. Qin Feng acted as if he did not hear him and said indifferently, "Kneel." Long Xiaobai was stunned. The disciples behind him were also stunned. The cultivators who were surrounded by more than 10 layers of cultivators were all stunned. The entire street was filled with a strange atmosphere. Many cultivators dug their ears, suspecting that they were hallucinating. Long Xiaobai's face was so cold that it was about to freeze. He directly kicked the horse's stomach, and the blood horse charged towards Qin Feng as if it had gone mad. "You brat, you're courting death," bang. Just as Long Xiaobai finished shouting, the spirit horse beneath him let out a cry. Its front leg seemed to have been broken by Qin Feng's kick, and it fell to the ground. The huge inertia threw Long Xiaobai high into the sky. A pink light appeared under his feet, and he appeared behind Qin Feng in the blink of an eye. "You ant who doesn't know the immensity of heaven and earth. I'll make you die a horrible death today." Boom! With a punch, the ground where Qin Feng was standing exploded into a huge pit. Many low-level cultivators could not dodge in time and were sent flying by the aftermath of the explosion, vomiting blood. However, Qin Feng's figure was long gone. There was only a white figure descending from the sky. Only when the explosion sounded did someone scream. "Flying arrow! What a fast flying arrow!" The genius disciple of the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce, Long Xiaobai, was killed. "I'm not dreaming, am I?" "What? Long Xiaobai is dead. How did he die? That young man has gone mad. He's going on a killing spree." The piercing cloud arrow killed a genius disciple at the second transformation of Buddha aura. However, this was just the beginning. With Qin Feng's will, the piercing cloud arrow turned into a white light, shuttling through the crowd like a phantom. Every time it landed, there would be a mist of blood and a loud explosion, symbolizing the death of a disciple of the soaring dragon chamber of commerce. In less than half an incense stick's time, the team of 12 disciples was completely annihilated. Not even the spirit horse survived. The street was quiet, and the strong smell of blood wafted in the wind. The battlefield was tragic. Severed limbs and heads were scattered all over the ground, and blood flowed like a river. It was a bloody scene from the 18th level of hell. As a cultivator of the divine continent, this kind of killing was not uncommon. However, Qin Feng killed a disciple of the soaring dragon chamber of commerce. This was the first time everyone had seen something like this. Crazy, crazy. That guy doesn't want to live. Everyone, run for your lives. When the elders of the soaring dragon chamber of commerce arrive, we'll be implicated too. Which sect is this young man from? He doesn't even care about the soaring dragon chamber of commerce. How terrifying. When the crowd came back to their senses, they were in an uproar. Some were running for their lives, some were discussing, and some wanted to talk to Qin Feng, but no one dared to come over. Dongfang Mingwang had recovered a little with the help of healing pills. He pulled Qin Feng and ran. You really killed those people. It's over, it's over. Let's run for our lives. After venting the anger in his heart, Qin Feng calmed down. Looking at the bloodstains on the ground, he started to worry. The Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce was the #1 chamber of commerce in the northern Sand Continent. Rumor had it that President Long had already stepped into the empty god realm. The entire Chamber of Commerce also had several true spirit realm experts, and there were countless Buddha's light realm disciples. According to Fei Baisong, the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce had gathered hundreds of Buddha's light realm experts to attack the Jiangchuan region. At first, it was Dongfang Mingwang who was pulling Qin Feng and running. When Qin Feng regained his senses, a golden flying sword appeared under his feet. It became so big that 2 people could step on it at the same time. Then, it turned into a golden light and disappeared into the distance. Fuck. That brat ran away. He really ran away fast. The Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce is here. What's going on here? Everyone, spread out. Chapter 1749. Not long after Qin Feng and Dongfang Mingwang left, a group of people with black dragons embroidered on their arms rushed over. They were the disciples of the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce. Many of the cultivators watching the commotion had already fled in fright, but there were still some who were too slow. At this moment, they did not dare to move recklessly, deeply afraid that they would be misunderstood by the people of the Dragonrise Chamber of Commerce if they suddenly fled. When the cultivators of the Dragonsword Chamber of Commerce arrived at the scene and saw the blood and flesh on the ground, they were so angry that they were about to explode. Who did this? Come out now and die. How dare he slaughter the disciples of my Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce in Merchant City? Did he eat a bear's heart or a leopard's skull? This time, the one leading the group was a junior elder. His eyes were about to spew fire. At the same time, he was perplexed. As the #1 trade union in the North Sand region, the Soaring Dragon Trade Union was extremely powerful. Most cultivators would take a detour upon seeing them. Even the 5-star aristocratic families and sects would not dare to offend the Soaring Dragon Trade Union. Who on earth was this person? The cultivators who did not manage to leave in time trembled in fear. The young elder of the Dragonsword Chamber of Commerce had already stepped into the 5 transformations of Buddha radiance. A powerful aura erupted from his body, suppressing the crowd to the point of vomiting. Are you all mute? Who did it? If you step forward now, I'll only kill one of you. If the Dragonsword Chamber of Commerce finds out, I'll exterminate your entire clan." These words were extremely arrogant, but no one dared to refute them, because everyone knew very well that the Dragonsaur Chamber of Commerce had the strength and confidence to do so. After a moment of silence, a trembling cultivator stepped forward and said, "Senior, please don't kill me. This matter has nothing to do with me. I just want to provide Senior with the appearance of the killer." Fortunately, this cultivator spoke quickly enough. Otherwise, he would already be a dead man. The little elder of the Dragonsaur Chamber of Commerce retracted his palm that was about to strike and snorted coldly, "Speak." "Yes, yes." The one who killed the Dragonsaur Merchant Guild's disciple was a young man who didn't seem to be more than 30 years old. His appearance was extremely ugly. That's right, that ugly man killed to save an old man. That old man was in his 60s and was only at the Immortal Chi realm. The little elder waved his hand, and a disciple immediately jumped out from behind him. "Draw a portrait of him according to what he said, and then issue an arrest warrant for the entire continent. Since he dared to kill a disciple of my soaring dragon Chamber of Commerce, I will let him know the consequences." Before the Chamber of Commerce officially started, the market was already in an uproar. The culprit of all this had no idea that he was now wanted by the entire continent. He had just returned to Face City with Dongfang Mingwang. In order to avoid being hunted down, Qin Feng used the flying magic tool he got from the bandit Li Sha. This small flying ship was several times faster than a flying sword. It only took the two of them half a day to rush back. The Fei family's disciples had been treating Qin Feng like a spiritual venerable for a long time. Fei Baisong had gone to recruit some forces and hadn't returned yet, so the great elder, Fei Shan, had personally received the two. President Qin, didn't you go to the Chamber of Commerce? Why are you still here?" Not long after Qin Feng returned, Huo Fei hurriedly walked in. Judging from his joyful expression, the business collaboration must have gone smoothly. Qin Fen asked the others to leave, leaving only him, Huo Fei, and Dongfang Mingwang in the main hall. He then set up a soundproof array formation and told them about the big event that happened in Merchant City not long ago. Huo Fei was almost scared to death when he heard those words. He hadn't known Qin Feng for a long time, but he knew that Qin Feng always liked to do unexpected things. However, the destruction of the Longting Chamber of Commerce's disciples in Merchant City was beyond Huo Fei's imagination again. "President Qin, we're in big trouble. Let's not participate in the Merchant City Chamber of Commerce and leave Face City as soon as possible." It was the first time Huo Fei felt so nervous. The opponent was the Longting Chamber of Commerce. They could easily destroy the Sea Medicine sect and the Huaxia Chamber of Commerce with a few people. "We must participate in the Chamber of Commerce. This is a great opportunity for the Huaxia Chamber of Commerce to develop. How can we miss it?" Qin Feng didn't back down even when facing a giant like the Longting Chamber of Commerce. Because of the importance of participating in the Chamber of Commerce, he planned to go to other continents through the Huaxia Chamber of Commerce to find Hua Xianyu, his mother, and the others. "President Qin, I'm not suggesting to escape because I'm afraid of death. It's just that the difference between our forces and the Longting Chamber of Commerce is too big. If we fight them head-on, it'll be like hitting a rock with an egg." Huo Fei looked bitter. Qin Feng understood what he was thinking and said, "You don't have to worry too much. When I killed the Longting Chamber of Commerce's disciples, I used an artifact to change my appearance. I also left with Grandpa Dongfang after I killed them. I believe no one will recognize me." Qin Feng started to feel lucky that he had been careful. If he had appeared with Qin Feng's appearance, he might not have been able to participate in the Chamber of Commerce. Not to mention the Chamber of Commerce, he might not even survive in the Northern Sand Continent if the Longting Chamber of Commerce issued a bounty. "Feng I've implicated you this time." Sigh. Dongfang Mingwang let out a long sigh. He felt very wronged. Back in Huaxia, he was one of the 9 dragons and stood among the top honorables. Now that he had come to the Divine Continent, he realized that he had become cannon fodder. Any cultivator could easily suppress him. Qin Feng comforted Dongfang Mingwang and expressed to Huo Fei that he would continue to participate in the Chamber of Commerce. Huo Fei didn't try to persuade him anymore. Since he had chosen to follow Qin Feng, even if he ended up dead, it was his own choice. After talking about such heavy matters for so long, Huo Fei changed the topic and told them some good news. Han Ying's plan for a share partnership attracted the interest of many factions in the Divine Continent. At least, the families and sects that Huo Fei went to negotiate with all agreed to cooperate with the Huaxia Chamber of Commerce. After chatting for a while, Fei Baisong also returned. Looking at his beaming face, he had probably negotiated with many factions. Ha! President Qin, Brother Huo Fei, you're both here. Fei Baisong was pleasantly surprised. This is one of my seniors, Dongfang Mingwang. Grandpa Dongfang, this is Fei City's city lord, Fei Baisong. Qin Feng gave a simple introduction and immediately went to the main topic. City Lord Fei, how's the progress on your side? Fei Baisong still didn't know about Qin Feng's massacre at the shopping center. Otherwise, he wouldn't be happy. He said excitedly, President Qin, the president's madam is very talented in business. Everyone likes this share system. I've already negotiated with 12 factions, big and small. They'll split the profits according to the president's madam's proposal. We'll get 80%, and they'll get 20%. Also, the factions that are allied with the Huaxia Chamber of Commerce can enjoy a 20% discount in all of the Huaxia Chamber of Commerce's branches in the northern Sand Continent. They also have priority in purchasing rare pills and other resources. Huo Fei also roped in around 10 factions. Including Fei Baisong, there were around 30 factions that had allied with the Huaxia Chamber of Commerce. These were all families and sects in the River Creek area. In other words, there was a breakthrough in the plan to open a route in the River Creek area. Now, there were around 30 transfer points. Chapter 1750. At this moment, the streets of the merchant city were filled with search teams formed by Dragonsaur Chamber of Commerce disciples. The first batch of disciples who discovered the situation didn't manage to catch up with Qin Fen and Dongfang Mingwang. Qin Fen purposely took a longer route to avoid being discovered. He didn't escape directly to Pei City. You guys, have you seen the 2 people in the portrait? Senior, I've never seen it before. Please let me go. The disciples of the Dragonsaur Chamber of Commerce had 2 portraits in their hands. They were portraits of Qin Fen and Dongfang Mingwang. The cultivators on the street were basically questioned one by one, but most of them expressed that they did not know who they were. Brother Lei, have you heard? Someone killed a disciple of the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce in Merchant City. Who hasn't heard of this? It has already spread like wildfire in the Merchant City. Right now, the news has already spread to a radius of 100 miles. I believe that in less than 3 days, more than half of the northern Sand region will know of it. Who do you think the person who dared to kill the disciples of the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce in broad daylight is? Are you tired of living? I heard that it's a disciple from the second-ranked Chamber of Commerce. He's deliberately showing off. Many cultivators were gathered within the great merchant city's 10,000 merchant house. This was the place where the Merchant Association held their meetings. Because the entire building could hold over 10,000 people, it was called the 10,000 Merchant House. Originally, everyone had gathered here to wait for the Chamber of Commerce to begin. However, they ended up discussing the matter of the mysterious youth annihilating the disciples of the Dragonsaur Chamber of Commerce. However, When someone pointed out that Qin Feng might be the disciple of the second-ranked Chamber of Commerce, the originally noisy hall suddenly fell silent. Who was the one who was talking nonsense just now? Stand out! A furious roar suddenly rang out, carrying with it a berserk aura, suppressing everyone in the room to the point that they did not dare to raise their heads. In the end, the person who spoke earlier still walked out cowardly because if he pretended to be stupid and avoided it, he would die even more miserably. Guild Master Darklight, it's my fault for talking too much. I hope Guild Master Darklight can forgive me. The one who spoke was a cultivator who had stepped into the sixth transformation of Buddha Light. With this cultivation realm, he could be considered an above-average existence in the Northern Sand region. He could go to any city square, and he could do whatever he wanted. However, just as the cultivator finished speaking, a gust of strong wind blew him out of the Thousand Merchants' house. Rumble. The moment he landed, there was a loud noise. The people in the room felt the ground shake violently. A black shadow landed in the middle of the crowd. He was wearing a black robe and a black hat that covered his face. It was impossible to see his appearance and build clearly. However, all the cultivators in the room held their breaths. Everyone recognized the person who had come. It was the president of the second-largest merchant association in the North Sand region, Senior Darklight. It was said that this person had already stepped into True Spirit Level 9, but no one knew if he had broken through to the Nihility God realm. Get lost. Don't participate in today's Merchant City's Chamber of Commerce. If I hear anyone spreading rumors again, you will bear the consequences. Whoosh! As soon as he finished speaking, a strong gust of wind blew and Darklight was nowhere to be seen. The atmosphere was silent for a long time before someone finally snapped out of it. Ah! Senior Darklight has broken through to Virtual God. That was just one of his clones. When these words came out, the quiet Myriad Merchant house burst into an uproar. Many cultivators were puzzled when Darklight appeared just now. With Senior Darklight's status and realm, why would he personally teach a junior a lesson? It seemed like that person was only one of Senior Darklight's clones. The news was too shocking. One must know that there were only a handful of ultimate gods who had stepped into the Nihility God realm in the vast North Sand region. Everyone could be sure that sect leader Long of the Soaring Dragon Merchant Guild was the only one. As for Long Qianjun, it was only rumored that he might have stepped into the Nihility God realm, while the Bright Moon Tower Master was also rumored to have stepped into the Nihility God realm. However, there was another rumor a few days ago that Su Mingyue had failed to break through. Looks like Senior Darklight has really stepped into the Nihility God realm. This year's Merchant City's Chamber of Commerce will be interesting. Due to the lack of spiritual energy in the Northern Sand region, sect leader Long was the only ultimate god in the Nihility God realm for the past hundreds of years. Now that another senior has stepped into the Nihility God realm, it gives us juniors a boost in confidence. Do you think the Black Light Chamber of Commerce can take the title of the top merchant association in the Merchant City's Chamber of Commerce? The Soaring Dragon Merchant Guild has been the top merchant association in the Northern Sand region for nearly 100 years. How can it be replaced so easily? However, if the Black Light Chamber of Commerce can open up a route in the Jiangchuan region, there might really be hope. Due to Dark Light's appearance, the cultivators in the Myriad Merchants building finally brought the topic back to the Merchant Association. When someone mentioned the Jiangchuan route, the crowd immediately got into a heated discussion. The Jiangchuan region is rich in spiritual energy and has many forces. There's a new sect or force almost every few miles. How strong would one need to be to rule that region? You guys still don't know. Back then, the Soaring Dragon Merchant Guild sect leader Long wanted to open up a route in the Jiangchuan region. In the end, even after gathering hundreds of Buddha Light realm experts, they still couldn't conquer that region. Later on, the Black Light Chamber of Commerce also went there and seemed to have sent 3 true Spirit Realm spiritual venerables. In the end, the Jiangchuan region is still an independent existence. The Jiangchuan region stretches across half of the northern sand region and is a necessary route for businesses. Unfortunately, this route can't be conquered. At least there's no such powerful force in the northern sand region. Almost no one was optimistic about conquering the Jiangchuan region. Suddenly, someone shouted, "Who said that the Jiangchuan region can't be conquered? Our China Chamber of Commerce is doing that." The moment the voice was heard, thousands of pairs of eyes looked over in that direction. Their faces were filled with disbelief. The few people who spoke were standing in a corner of the room. From their position, it was obvious that they were from a small force with no reputation. These people were wearing clothes with the words Nanxian embroidered on it, so they were quickly recognized. Ha! So it's people from the Nanxian Chamber of Commerce. It's just a small, unknown 3-star Chamber of Commerce in the northern sand region. How dare they spout such arrogant words? I know. It's really embarrassing for the Nanxian Chamber of Commerce to use such a method to attract attention. There was a burst of laughter. No one took the Nanxian Chamber of Commerce's words seriously. The few disciples were so angry that their faces turned red. They had received President Qin's flying sword message and specially came to Merchant City to participate in the Chamber of Commerce. Who would have thought that Qin Feng would be nowhere to be seen? Another few voices sounded. They were actually speaking up for the Nanxian Chamber of Commerce. The voices also came from a few corners of the room. It seemed like the people who spoke did not have a high status. The Nanxian Chamber of Commerce is right. The Jiangchuan region can be developed. Others might not be able to do it, but that doesn't mean that our China Chamber of Commerce can't do it. Our China Chamber of Commerce has already begun to develop the Jiangchuan region. I believe that with President Qin's might and wisdom, that commercial route will soon be opened. The cultivators in the room looked over and quickly recognized the identities of the few forces who spoke. Nanxian Chamber of Commerce, Dongqing Shui's family, Sacred Star Sect, these were the first batch of forces to join the China Chamber of Commerce. These people had serious expressions on their faces. They did not look like they were joking. The other cultivators looked at them as if they were looking at idiots. They could not understand where they got their confidence from. Also, what the hell was the China Chamber of Commerce? Why did it sound so familiar? I remember now. The China Chamber of Commerce is the Chamber of Commerce that sells the Spirit Surge pill. Someone exclaimed. At this moment, many people remembered. After all, the Spirit Surge pill was too famous. It even boosted the reputation of the China Chamber of Commerce. However, many people misunderstood the relationship between the two. They thought that the Four-Way Tower was the main elixir shop that refined the Spirit Surge pill, and the China Chamber of Commerce was only selling it on their behalf. So it's that Chamber of Commerce. I heard that it's a small Chamber of Commerce that was established recently. If not for the fact that they obtained the rights to sell the Spirit Surge pill, no one would know about it. Ha! These people must be crazy. A mere China Chamber of Commerce wants to open up a route in the Jiangchuan region. What kind of daydream is that? Roars of laughter rang out once again, surging like a tidal wave. To put it bluntly, the China Chamber of Commerce was just a small chamber of commerce that sold the Spirit Surge pill. It did not even have its own transportation route, nor did it have any other business. Such an ant-like chamber of commerce wanted to open up a route in the Jiangchuan region. No one would believe it even if they were beaten to death. There were too few people from the China Chamber of Commerce present. They were negligible among the thousands of cultivators present. Even though they tried their best to prove the China Chamber of Commerce, their voices were drowned out by the laughter. No one listened to them. Right at that moment, a few ancient auras suddenly appeared. The auras seemed to come from a faraway place, yet they seemed to fill the entire 1,000 traders building. The laughing crowd suddenly quietened down. Everyone had a solemn look on their faces. Some of the cultivators with lower cultivation bases could not help but tremble. "He's here, he's here. Sect leader Long is here," many people exclaimed in their hearts. A voice that seemed to come from a faraway place came from within the building. "Welcome, fellow cultivators, to this year's Commerce Conference. I'm attending this conference as the president of the North Sand Chamber of Commerce and a guest. I hope that everyone will maintain order in the conference and refrain from fighting." As the voice faded, the echo reverberated in everyone's mind, causing many people's heads to ache. Following that, another voice was heard. "Fellow cultivators, I'm the president of the Black Light Chamber of Commerce, Black Light. I'm attending as the vice president of the Merchant City Chamber of Commerce and a guest." With the sudden appearance of two ultimate gods, the originally relaxed atmosphere in the conference became extremely solemn. However, a long time after the two presidents finished speaking, no one appeared. Instead, two strong gusts of wind blew and two old men sat on the main podium of the venue. It's the president of the Lian Chamber of Commerce, the third largest chamber of commerce in the North Sand continent, Senior Lian Qing. Rumor has it that Senior Lian has already stepped into True Spirit Level 8. The last time I saw him, I was standing hundreds of meters away. I didn't expect to be in the same room as Senior Lian from 50 meters away. That should be the president of the fourth largest chamber of commerce in the North Sand continent, Tongyang Chamber of Commerce, Yangtong. The presidents of the four chambers of commerce are all here. Looks like this year's Commerce Conference is about to begin. The cultivators exclaimed in their hearts and many of them stared at the floor. It was usually extremely difficult to meet any of the presidents of the four chambers of commerce. It was a rare sight to see all four presidents gathered in one place. If Qin Fen was here, he would definitely be shocked. He knew Yang Tong. Back then, after the Pill Workshop Conference in Pill City, Yang Tong and the others had intercepted the square tower. In the end, Qin Fen had given Yang Tong a spirit surge pill. However, Qin Fen did not know that the Tongyang Trade Association was actually the fourth largest trade association in the Northern Sand region. Chapter 1751. Lian Cheng and Yang Tong said something, but they were all conventional words. As soon as they finished speaking and sat down, two ancient yet different auras instantly filled the entire venue, causing an inexplicable sense of nervousness and wariness to arise in everyone. Lian Cheng is here to greet President Long and President He Yao. Yang Tong is here to greet President Long and President He Yao. The two spiritual venerables in the late stage of the spirit-detecting realm stood up again with a respectful attitude. If such a scene were to occur at any other time, it would definitely cause everyone's eyeballs to explode. However, at this moment, it seemed to be a matter of course, because two figures had appeared in the two empty seats beside the two of them. One of them wore a black robe and a black hat, and the other wore a white robe that fluttered about. The auras of the two of them were very unique, like light and mist. They were just sitting there, but they gave off an illusory feeling. Clones, they are definitely clones. Some cultivators were already discussing in low voices. It seems President He Yao has really reached the empty god realm. Our Northern Sand region has another empty god realm venerable. Senior He Yao's aura is slightly weaker than sect leader Long's. It seems he has just reached the empty god realm. Fortunately, Qin Feng was not here. Otherwise, they would be worried to death. They did not expect sect leader Long to be an empty god realm venerable. It was not just a rumor. In front of an empty god realm venerable, Qin Feng admitted he could not fight back. The 100 miles light sniper, the level 4 trap formation, the heaven bell, and the genie sword with divine consciousness attack were all rubbish. Qin Fen even wondered if he had the chance to hide in the astral world. Empty God realm and spirit detecting realm were two completely different realms, and their strengths were as different as heaven and earth. The appearance of sect leader Long and He Yao's clones was enough to make Lian Cheng and Yang Tong breathless. Sect leader Long, Senior He Yao, can we start this year's Merchant City Chamber of Commerce? Lian Cheng was asking for their opinion. He Yao said, yes. Before Lian Cheng could make the official announcement, sect leader Long's indifferent voice was heard, wait a minute. It will start in half an hour. Actually, sect master Long did not have anything else to say. This half an incense's time was to deliberately anger Black Radiance. In recent years, the Black Radiance Chamber of Commerce had been developing rapidly, and there was a faint momentum to surpass the Dragon Ascension Chamber of Commerce. The disciples of both sides were constantly fighting each other, and as the leaders of the two chambers, they naturally had to disgust each other when they met. He Yao was truly disgusted. When Sect Master Long gave the order, Lian Cheng pretended to be ignorant and sat at the side, not daring to announce the opening of the Chamber of Commerce. The cultivators below the stage did not dare to speak. The atmosphere in the room was a little heavy. Although they could not see He Yao's face under the black hat, they could guess that he was not in a good mood. Half an incense stick's time passed quickly, and Sect Master Long's voice rang out, all right, let's begin. Lianqing seemed to have suddenly come back to life. He put on a smiling face and said, yes, Sect Master Long, then. He turned around and swept his gaze across the crowd in the room. Fellow cultivators, the Merchant City's Chamber of Commerce this year has officially begun. The rules and procedures of the Chamber of Commerce are the same as in previous years. Now, we will proceed with the first event of the Chamber of Commerce, business demonstration. Following Lian Cheng's words, the crowd in the Myriad Merchant House immediately boiled over. At this moment, there were 5,000 to 6,000 cultivators gathered in the entire Myriad Merchant House. These people were the representatives of the various chambers of commerce in the Northern Sand region. They were here to display their strength and raise their reputation. There was already a row of people standing below the guest seats. They were the cultivators of the 4 major chambers of commerce, and they were responsible for recording the business information of the various chambers of commerce. The status of these recording personnel was not low either. They were basically the elders of the 4 major chambers of commerce, and even Long Outyen was among them. Senior Judge, our White Tiger Chamber of Commerce's business is very extensive. It includes the sale of elixirs, spiritual weapons, teleportation, breaking through protectors, mediation, and more than 10 other types of business. I'm the leader of the 3 Luminaries Chamber of Commerce. Our Chamber of Commerce has specialized smiths who can customize spiritual weapons and sell talismans. The 5-floor Mountain Chamber of Commerce has only been established for 5 years, but it has developed rapidly like a dark horse. Now, its teleportation business is very extensive, and it has already connected dozens of market squares as teleportation points. Speaking of our Tianshan Chamber of Commerce, it is the 7th largest chamber of commerce in the Northern Sand region. The Myriad Traders building was very lively, and it looked like a scene of hundreds of flowers blooming. Tens of thousands of cultivators had gathered outside the Myriad Traders building. They were all people who had come from various places to watch the Chamber of Commerce. Someone had set up a formation in the void, and the situation inside the Myriad Traders building was being displayed in the void, just like a live broadcast on Earth. Which force do you think will be the champion of this year's Chamber of Commerce? Is there a need to guess? The Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce will definitely be the #1 Chamber of Commerce in the Northern Sand region. Why don't we guess which Chamber of Commerce among the current top 10 chambers of commerce will be eliminated? The White Dew Chamber of Commerce, which is ranked 10th, is in danger. I haven't seen them develop much in the past 5 years, and their reputation is no longer what it used to be. On the other hand, the 5-floor Mountain Chamber of Commerce has been developing rapidly in the past few years, and it is very likely that they will be among the new top 10 chambers of commerce. I have high hopes for the Flying Cloud Chamber of Commerce. Although it has only been established for 3 years, there are rumors that the leader of the Flying Cloud Chamber of Commerce is a true spirit-level spiritual venerable, and his hidden identity is the leader of the 5-star Flying Cloud sect, Senior Flying Cloud. There's such a thing? Looks like I'm too naive. This year's Chamber of Commerce is full of crouching tigers and hidden dragons. It's hard to predict the ranking until the last moment. The discussions outside the venue were even crazier, surging like a tsunami. There was a soundproof formation in the Myriad Traders building, so the people inside could not hear what was going on outside. The first segment of the Chamber of Commerce, Business Introduction, had been tabulated. Sect Leader Long and the other 3 special guests were looking through the results and giving each Chamber of Commerce a score. According to the rules of the previous years, the Chamber of Commerce would have a total of 3 segments, and the total score for each segment would be 10 points. The final ranking would be based on the sum of the 3 segment scores. To be fair, each segment would be scored by the 4 special guests together, and the average score would be used as the final score. Although Qin Feng was not there yet, the president of the Nanxian Chamber of Commerce, Si Nan, was representing the Huaxia Chamber of Commerce for the time being. When President Si Nan saw that the score of the Huaxia Chamber of Commerce was 0, he was dumbfounded. The first round of scoring has ended. Let me announce the names of the chambers of commerce that have been forced to withdraw. The Thousand Leaves Chamber of Commerce has withdrawn. Any doubts? Yang Tong read the name list in his hand. He would pause after every name, waiting for the Chamber of Commerce to express their opinions. In fact, the Merchant City Chamber of Commerce did not have an elimination system. No matter how low your score was, you would at most be ranked at the bottom. There was only one reason why you would be forced to withdraw: you had violated the rules set by the Chamber of Commerce. No. After a while, a weak voice came from below the stage. It was the president of the Thousand Leaves Chamber of Commerce. Many people began to discuss in whispers. They already knew that the Thousand Leaves Chamber of Commerce must have cheated in the first round of the competition, lying about undeveloped projects to pull their score. The Great Tang Chamber of Commerce, the Northern Mountain Chamber of Commerce, the Dragon Leaping Heaven Chamber of Commerce, the Huaxia Chamber of Commerce has been forced to withdraw. Any of the chambers of commerce mentioned above, any doubts? Chapter 1752. In just the first round of the Chamber of Commerce, they had caught 20 to 30 chambers of commerce that had lied about their business. In the end, these factions did not quibble and fled with their tails between their legs. However, there was still a group that had not left. This group was made up of a few small factions, and it was a chamber of commerce. There was a sudden uproar in Wan Merchant House as thousands of cultivators discussed. Yang Tong was stunned as he looked at the name of the Chamber of Commerce that had not left. His eyes flashed with surprise. It was China Chamber of Commerce. Everyone be quiet. Yang Tong took a deep breath and a powerful aura was emitted as he spoke. The crowd immediately quietened down as he continued, "What's going on with China Chamber of Commerce?" Nanxian Chamber of Commerce's president, Si Nan, stood out. Facing a late-stage true spirit realm expert, he was somewhat uncertain. "President Yang, our China Chamber of Commerce did not violate the rules. Why are you forcing us to withdraw?" Yang Tong frowned. The Merchant City Chamber of Commerce had always adhered to a fair and open system. The void array outside Wan Merchant House was set up for other cultivators to act as notaries. Therefore, the Chamber of Commerce would give the participating factions a chance to speak in every segment. It was not as if the Chamber of Commerce could force them to withdraw. China Chamber of Commerce lied about developing a river route, so we were forced to withdraw. Yang Tong recited the reason for withdrawing and was instantly speechless. After all, he had accepted a spirit surge pill from Qin Feng. Now, he should at least help China Chamber of Commerce. However, China Chamber of Commerce could even lie about developing a river route. Yang Tong did not have the strength to do so. The moment he recited the reason, the entire Wan merchant house burst into an uproar. Even with sect leader Long and the other 3 experts on the stage, the cultivators below could not help but laugh. Ha! Are these people from China Chamber of Commerce sick? It's fine if they bragged earlier, but now that the Chamber of Commerce is in progress, they still dare to say such arrogant words. Humph. They are really unscrupulous in order to gain attention. This kind of petty and useless Chamber of Commerce will not last long. I bet they will close down in less than a year. How dare they spout nonsense in Merchant City's Chamber of Commerce? This is a challenge to the dignity of the 4 presidents. This China Chamber of Commerce is doomed. Just like before, no one believed the words of China Chamber of Commerce. Yang Tong looked troubled when he heard the discussion. If it were any other Chamber of Commerce, he would have chased them away in anger. But China Chamber of Commerce's president, Qin Fen, had some relations with him. He did not know how to deal with it. Brother Yang, what are you waiting for? Just let the people from the Huaxia Chamber of Commerce leave. Lian Cheng was a little puzzled. Yang Tong had no choice, but before he could say anything, Si Nan stood out to prove himself. President Lian Cheng, please believe me. I'm not joking. The Huaxia Chamber of Commerce is currently opening a route in the Jiangchuan area. Currently, more than 30 teleportation points have been set up. I believe that in less than half a year, that route will be completely opened. The crowd cried out in surprise. Jiangchuan's route had 30 teleportation points. This was already a very impressive thing. But soon, everyone showed a playful look. Obviously, they still didn't believe Si Nan's words. Lian Cheng's face was cold, and he seemed to be a little impatient. Don't talk nonsense here. What do you think the Chamber of Commerce is? Are you treating us 4 judges as 3-year-old children? Since you're a junior, I won't argue with you. If you don't leave, don't blame me for being rude. As soon as Lian Cheng lost his temper, the atmosphere in the hall immediately became oppressive. Si Nan and the others trembled uncontrollably. Although they were reluctant, they instinctively stepped back toward the door. Under the watchful eyes of the crowd, when the people of the Huaxia Chamber of Commerce were about to leave the Myriad Merchants building, they heard a clear voice coming from afar. Qin Feng, the vice president of the Huaxia Chamber of Commerce, is here. Si Nan and the others suddenly stopped, and then a look of surprise appeared on their faces. They thought that they had finally held on until the arrival of President Qin. Otherwise, the Huaxia Chamber of Commerce would really be eliminated in the first round. While the voice was still echoing in the room, a white figure suddenly landed. When the crowd looked over, they were all surprised. They didn't expect that the vice president of the Huaxia Chamber of Commerce was so young. Swish, swish, swish. Several figures followed closely and landed behind Qin Feng. They were Fei Baisong, Huo Fei, and the others. After a round of inspection, many people looked away. Qin Feng's cultivation was only at the second transformation of Buddha's aura. In the Myriad Merchants building, it was difficult to arouse people's interest. On the contrary, Fei Baisong, who had stepped into the 8th transformation of Buddha's aura, attracted a few more glances. But then, everyone was dumbfounded. Young Master Qin is here. Yang Tong greeted him with a smile, as if he was greeting an old friend. Qin Feng greets Senior Yang. Ha! There is no need to be polite between us. I have to thank you for the spirit surge pill last time. Yang Tong didn't put on airs in front of Qin Feng, but he didn't really treat Qin Feng as a good friend. Instead, he took a fancy to Qin Feng's identity as an elixir king. After a few words, a black figure suddenly stood beside Qin Feng. Except for Yang Tong, the 4 judges, and a few cultivators, no one knew when this old man appeared. "Young Master Qin, do you still remember me?" The old man was wearing a black robe, and his skin was thin. He stood there like a weak old man, but after recognizing him, Qin Feng immediately greeted him respectfully. Qin Feng greets Immortal Zhang. As soon as the words came out, the crowd was excited. Immortal Zhang. Which Immortal Zhang? You said that there are several Immortal Zhangs in the North Sands continent. Naturally, it's the rogue cultivator Immortal Zhang from the North Sands continent. This Immortal Zhang was also one of the few experts who intercepted the square tower. At this time, he expressed his gratitude to Qin Feng. Qin Feng also said a few polite words, but he didn't really take it to heart. At that time, there were several forces that intercepted the square tower, but in the end, only Broken Flower City Lord Yang Batian took the initiative to thank Qin Feng. And whether it was Yang Tong or Immortal Zhang, they just happened to meet Qin Feng and said a few good words. Otherwise, these people would have long forgotten the kindness of Qin Feng giving them the Spirit Surge pill. This was not the end. Following that, a few more groups of people took the initiative to greet Qin Feng. These people all knew Qin Feng's identity as an Elixir King, and also knew that he was the only disciple of Long Qianjun, but they didn't know that the China Chamber of Commerce was founded by Qin Feng. However, even if they knew about this, these people didn't believe that Qin Feng could open up a route in the Jiangchuan area. This was something that even the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce and the Black Radiance Chamber of Commerce couldn't do, so what could Qin Feng do? Wave after wave of cultivators took the initiative to greet Qin Feng. This scene had long stunned the crowd. Those cultivators who didn't know Qin Feng were whispering to each other, trying to find out his identity. However, this was just the beginning. A violent aura suddenly surged, pressing towards Qin Feng. "Brat, you still dare to show your face? Let's see where you can escape to today," the crowd exclaimed. The one who attacked was actually the president of the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce, Long Outyan. This person had an extremely high status in the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce, and he was from the Northern Sand Continent. Qin Feng had long been on guard against the cultivators of the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce, so the moment Long Outyan's aura changed, he prepared to defend himself. However, he soon realized that he had underestimated the power of a true spirit realm cultivator. It was as if the moment the aura surged, that aura had surrounded him. Qin Feng felt as if he was bound by invisible ropes, and even moving became unrealistic. A huge palm was about to descend, and Qin Feng had no strength to resist. He couldn't even enter the astral space. Yang Tong and Sage Xiang were standing beside him, and in a one-on-one fight, they weren't afraid of Long Outyan. However, their auras didn't change, and they even deliberately looked to the side, as if nothing had happened. Qin Feng's heart was in despair, and he regretted coming to the Chamber of Commerce so rashly. At the same time, he was furious. Yang Tong and Sage Xiang were both ingrates, and those 2 spirit charge pills had been fed to the dogs. Wang! Long Outyan's palm finally landed, but there wasn't a loud sound as expected. Under everyone's astonished gazes, there seemed to be a layer of air protecting Qin Feng's body, emitting an ethereal yet incomparably powerful aura. When Long Outyan's ferocious palm force landed, it only caused the surface of the air barrier to ripple. Wang! That ethereal aura suddenly surged, and the ripple spread out. Long Outyan didn't even have time to retreat, and was actually forced to retreat by that aura. The hall became dead silent, and the practitioners were all stunned by the miraculous scene in front of them. Everyone present knew Long Outyan's identity. He was one of the 4 branch presidents of the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce, and he was also a spiritual venerable in the Northern Sand Continent, who was rumored to have reached level 6 of the True Spirit. How could he be forced to retreat? The next moment, thousands of pairs of eyes looked toward the judges' seats. Everyone knew clearly that even if Yang Tong and Sage Zhang fought, they wouldn't be able to force Long Outyen to retreat so easily. There were only 2 people in the hall who could do it, and they were sitting at the judges' seats. Is it Leader He Yao? Everyone had a guess, as it was impossible for Leader Long to attack his underling. Long Outyen also looked toward He Yao, and there was a hint of coldness in his eyes. He was from the northern Sand Continent, and no one dared to stop him when he fought, but he had been humiliated in front of everyone that day. Leader Long Outyen knew he wasn't a match for He Yao, and he looked toward Leader Long. Before he could finish his words, Leader Long spoke. He Yao, what do you mean? His voice was ethereal, as if it came from 1,000 miles away, but it was extremely penetrating, and it reverberated in everyone's minds. Dragon Soul, what do you mean by your underling? He Yao's voice was also ethereal. It was only then that most of the practitioners in the hall heard Leader Long's real name for the first time. It turned out that his name was Dragon Soul. The Huashi Chamber of Commerce violated the chamber's rules, and Outyen chased away those insignificant people. What's wrong with that? Dragon Soul's voice sounded again, but he didn't open his mouth. It was obvious that he was transmitting his voice through his aura. Do you have sufficient evidence to prove that the Huashi Chamber of Commerce violated the chamber's rules? He Yao didn't give in. He probably still remembered that Dragon Soul had intentionally suppressed the Chamber of Commerce at the beginning. Chapter 1753. No one had expected the 2 biggest chamber leaders in the northern Sand Continent to be arguing over a young man with Buddha aura second transformation. Judging from their increasing auras, it seemed like they were going to fight at any time. Since the China Chamber of Commerce dares to lie about opening up the Jiangchuan region, I'd like to see how they're going to do it. Dragon Soul suddenly stopped arguing and stared coldly at Qin Feng. This was the first time Qin Feng felt so nervous since he came to the Divine Continent. It was as if he was being stared at by a hungry lion. He did not even feel this way when Long Outyen slapped him. Thousands of eyes were fixed on Qin Feng. Most of the cultivators had a playful look in their eyes. No one believed that the Huashi Chamber of Commerce had really opened up the Jiangchuan route. Before Qin Fen came, Si Nan and the others had been trying their best to publicize this matter, causing many cultivators to complain in their hearts. Now that this matter had reached the point where sect leader Long was angry, Qin Fen could hardly escape death. Even Dark Light did not believe it. The reason why he saved Qin Fen and argued with the Dragon Soul was not because of his friendship with Qin Fen. In fact, it was his first time meeting Qin Fen. He just wanted to take the opportunity to suppress the Dragon Soul. Qin Fen could sense the murderous intent in sect leader Long's eyes when he looked at him. It seemed like Long Outyen had sent a telepathic message to Dragon Soul and informed him of the conflict between them. Qin Feng did not dare to be careless when he was targeted by the clone of an empty god stage powerhouse. He quickly shouted. Everything that the China Chamber of Commerce said is true. I've brought some forces from the Jiangchuan region. However, they are not from the northern Sand Continent, so they can't enter the 1,000 Merchants Tower. The crowd in the room gasped and started discussing. They thought that Qin Feng would kneel down and beg for mercy. However, he was still putting on an act. What was he up to? The Dragon Soul could not understand him, but before it could speak, Dark Light's ethereal voice was heard. If that's the case, call your men in to prove your innocence. Qin Feng looked at Dark Light gratefully. He knew that Dark Light did not mean to help him. He was just using him as a pawn to suppress Dragon Soul. However, Qin Feng had to admit that he would have been dead if Dark Light had not intervened. The Dragon Soul did not refute Dark Light this time because the participating Chamber of Commerce had the right to prove itself. A dazzling white light appeared in the air. There was a rank 5 spatial array at the entrance of the Myriad Merchant House. If the array wasn't activated, no one from the outside would be able to enter. When the Chamber of Commerce officially started, the portal was sealed. This was to prevent cultivators from the outside from barging in and causing trouble. Qin Feng couldn't help but take a few more glances at the level 5 spatial formation. A storm was set off in his heart. The level of the cultivator who set up this spatial formation was too high. Even with his current knowledge, he couldn't see through it. Whoosh! A strong gust of wind blew, and several figures landed in the spacious venue. The city lord of Rivertown, Wan He, greets the 4 presidents. Nia He, the great elder of Tiger Crane Mountain, a 4-star sect in the Jiangchuan area, greets the 4 guild masters. I'm here to help the Huaxia Chamber of Commerce gain fame. Lin Hao, a disciple of the Lin family of Xianyuan City, greets the 4 presidents. Now, the Lin family has cooperated with the Huaxia Chamber of Commerce to develop the teleportation business in the Jiangchuan area. More than 20 groups of forces arrived at once. These forces were of varying strength. Some were not even at the standard of a 3-star sect, but there were also 5-star families like the Xianyuan Lin clan. There were also 2 true spirit realm experts in the crowd. One of them was the city lord of Heshi First City, Mu Yanfeng, and the other was the hall master of the Hall of Famous Generals, Chao Yunfei. Qin Feng knew both of them. They were the ones who had stopped the square tower with Yang Tong and unaffiliated cultivator Zhang. Qin Feng had given them the spirit surge pill, but they never sought him out again. Now that the 2 of them represented different forces, Qin Feng was surprised. He didn't expect them to be from the Jiangchuan area as well. This showed how vast the land covered by this route was. As the forces introduced themselves, the smiles on the faces of the cultivators in the room froze. The contempt in their eyes was replaced by shock. Even Yang Tong and Lian Cheng were stunned. Dark Light asked directly, "Have all of you submitted to the Huaxia Chamber of Commerce?" Even Dark Light didn't believe this question. It was understandable for the 3-star forces to submit to the Huaxia Chamber of Commerce, but the Xianyuan Lin clan, the city lord of Heshi First City, Mu Yanfeng, the hall master of the Hall of Famous Generals, Chao Yunfei. All of these forces were famous. Why would they submit to a small chamber of commerce that had just been established? Dark Light wasn't the only one who couldn't figure this out. Everyone present was frustrated. The Dragon Soul's face was cold and he was so angry that he couldn't speak. Senior Dark Light, the Hall of Famous Generals has never submitted to the Huaxia Chamber of Commerce. We are only cooperating with the Huaxia Chamber of Commerce, Chao Yunfei said as he cupped his fists. Speaking of which, the Hall of Famous Generals was also a famous force in the Northern Sands region. Moreover, this force was very special. It was a large association formed by the various rogue cultivators of the Northern Sands region. To put it simply, it was a rogue cultivator alliance. In the Northern Sand continent, unaffiliated cultivators were looked down upon the most. They didn't have rich cultivation resources or a strong background. However, no one dared to look down on the Hall of Famous Generals formed by these unaffiliated cultivators. Even unaffiliated cultivator Zhang, one of the 8 great masters of the Northern Sand continent, was a member of the Hall of Famous Generals. Chao Yunfei had already explained the situation. Even so, everyone was still in disbelief. The Hall of Famous Generals was the largest unaffiliated cultivator alliance in the Northern Sand continent. There were hundreds of millions of members in the alliance. There was no lack of Buddha Light Realm and True Spirit Realm experts. It was even rumored that the Chief Hall Master had already reached the Empty God Realm. Why would such a strong force cooperate with the Huaxia Chamber of Commerce? What was there for them to cooperate with each other? Dark Light couldn't understand. However, since Chao Yunfei had explained it so clearly, he didn't ask any further. He looked at Mu Yanfeng and said, City Master Mu, are you also cooperating with the Huaxia Chamber of Commerce? Although Mu Yanfeng's West River City wasn't as strong as the Hall of Famous Generals, it was still one of the famous forces in the northern Sand Continent. His appearance here was puzzling. Mu Yanfeng stepped forward and cupped his fists respectfully. Senior Dark Light is right. West River City is cooperating with the Huaxia Chamber of Commerce. Currently, West River City is one of the teleportation points of the Huaxia Chamber of Commerce. Whoosh! The crowd was in an uproar. Previously, the disciples of the Huaxia Chamber of Commerce had stated that they were opening up the Jiangchuan route. However, none of the cultivators present believed them. However, now that the representatives of the various forces in the Jiangchuan region had personally arrived and stated that they were cooperating with the Huaxia Chamber of Commerce and that they had already set up a teleportation point, they had no choice but to believe them. The huge hall suddenly fell silent and a strange aura floated in the air. Dark Light and Dragon Soul's expressions changed. In the past, they had also tried to open up the Jiangchuan route but ultimately failed. They never expected that a young man in his early 20s would be able to accomplish this. It was simply unbelievable. Chapter 1754. Guild Leader Dark Light, everything I've said before is the truth. I hope that Guild Leader Dark Light can give me justice, Qin Feng said. At this moment, no one dared to question Qin Feng anymore. The truth was right before their eyes. What else could they use to question it? Dark Light was stunned for a while before returning to his senses. His voice was ethereal. The Merchant Guild has misunderstood the China Chamber of Commerce. As one of the guests of the Chamber of Commerce, I hereby apologize to the China Chamber of Commerce. I personally changed the previous split. It's not easy for the Chinese Chamber of Commerce to be able to open the route in Chuanjiang. I give them 10 points. Voila! The crowd was seething with excitement. President Dark Light had actually given a perfect score of 10. It should be known that ever since the Merchant Guild's establishment, only the Dragonsaur Merchant Guild had ever received a perfect score in the guild competition. Even the Dark Light Merchant Guild did not have such an honor. Who would have thought that after hundreds of years, the Hua Xia Merchant Guild would emerge as a dark horse and once again create a miracle? Full marks. Did I hear that right? President Dark Light actually gave the Chinese Chamber of Commerce full marks. To be able to open up a river route, it makes sense to give full marks. Why do I feel that Senior Dark Light's full marks were meant to anger sect leader Long? Holy shit! Are you tired of living? Don't talk nonsense, or you won't even know how you died. He Yao ignored the discussion and looked to the side. Brother Lian Qing, Brother Yang Tong, what do you think? Previously, when Long Aotian had attacked Qin Feng, Yang Tong had pretended not to know and stood at the side. Speaking of which, he felt a little guilty. At this moment, he took the initiative to express his stance and said, "Young hero Qin is young and promising." He led the Chinese Chamber of Commerce to open up the Jiangchuan route and greatly improve the teleportation industry in the North Sand region. I really agree with President He Yao's evaluation. I also give him 10 out of 10. The crowd was in an uproar again. 2 of the judges had already given a perfect score of 10, which was even more legendary than the perfect score from the Dragonsaur Chamber of Commerce. Lian Qing didn't even dare to look at the Dragon Soul, deeply afraid that it would give him a meaningful look. He had already offended Dark Light once at the opening of the Chamber of Commerce. He dared not do so again. 10 points. Lian Cheng's voice was very low, as if he didn't want everyone to hear him. However, all the cultivators present heard it clearly, and the scene became even more fervent. The 3 judges gave full marks. If the Dragon Soul also gave full marks, this would be the most historic moment since the Merchant Guild was held. However, as soon as this thought popped up in his mind, he heard the faint voice of the dragon soul. There's no doubt that the Chinese Chamber of Commerce is opening up the Jiangchuan route, but they've only opened up 30 or so teleportation points. Compared to the thousands of forces in the Jiangchuan area, it's not even worth mentioning. How can such an achievement be given full marks? Then our North Sand Region's Merchant Association will not be able to hold it anymore. He Yao's face was covered by the black hat, but one could guess his cold expression from the chilling aura he exuded. He Yao didn't say much. Yang Tong and Lian Qing lowered their heads and pretended not to know anything. Sect Master Long reprimanded them for a while, but he also gave the score. 6 points. This score was not low compared to the other participating chambers of commerce. Hence, the scores for the first round of the Huaxia Chamber of Commerce were released. The average score was 9 points. The Thousand Traders building was once again in an uproar. 9 points was already a very high score, and it was the highest score in the first round of the Merchant Guild's competition. Countless gazes turned to Qin Feng. Before this, no one expected the Chinese Chamber of Commerce to become the Black Horse Chamber of Commerce today. Not long ago, everyone thought that the Chamber of Commerce would be forced to withdraw after the first round. Especially the cultivators of the top 10 chambers of commerce in the North Sand region. Their eyes were filled with jealousy and hatred. At the same time, they were extremely confused. How did this Chinese Chamber of Commerce manage to rope in the forces of the Hall of Famous Generals? The first round of the Chamber of Commerce's competition has ended. The second round will now begin. Sect Master Long's voice rang out again. Even though there was no emotion in his voice, everyone could feel his suppressed anger. The crowd quickly quietened down. No one dared to offend Sect Master Long at a time like this. If they were to be used as a punching bag, they would be in deep trouble. The Chamber of Commerce continued. Mu Yanfeng, Chao Yunfei, and the rest had already left the Thousand Traders building. However, they did not leave. Like the tens of thousands of cultivators outside, they surrounded the Thousand Traders building and watched the live broadcast from the array in the void. The second round of the Chamber of Commerce's competition had already been announced. It was a competition to see which Chamber of Commerce was most outstanding in. Qin Feng did not expect Lin Hao to come as the representative of the Lin family. He wanted to greet him, but there was no time now. Even though many chambers of commerce were forced to withdraw from the first round, the Thousand Traders building was still filled with many chambers of commerce. The order of the second round of the competition was based on the scores of the first round. The Chamber of Commerce with the lowest score would display their outstanding business in turn. Fellow Taoists, our White Tiger Chamber of Commerce has always been promoting the Protector Program. This is our most outstanding program. Our Chamber of Commerce will be responsible for protecting cultivators from the Immortal Qi stage to the Buddha Aura 9 transformation stage. We can also help Buddha Aura stage cultivators resist the lightning tribulation. We will only charge if we guarantee a breakthrough. If we fail, we will not charge. The Protector Program was not rare in the Northern Sands continent. Many chambers of commerce included this program. Therefore, after the president of the White Tiger Chamber of Commerce finished speaking, there was no reaction. However, Qin Feng found it a little funny. His Buddha Aura stage lightning tribulation was one of the Northern Sands continent's 9 transformations true lightning tribulation. If any chamber of commerce dared to accept his protector program, he would definitely scare them to death. 3 Luminaries Chamber of Commerce has been trying to introduce brand new programs for the past 5 years. Now, the substitute fighting program has been fully developed. It includes paid substitute fighting, revenge, substitute fighting, etc. This substitute fighting program was a little novel. It had not been popularized among the large chambers of commerce yet. However, from the expressions of the cultivators from the other chambers of commerce, it was obvious that most of them did not think highly of this program. For example, only low-level cultivators would look for substitute fighting programs. What if you were asked to deal with a 5-star sect? Would you do it or not? Moreover, the enemies that high-level cultivators would face were even stronger. Ordinary chambers of commerce would not dare to accept such an order. Tianshan Chamber of Commerce has introduced a special training program. The program includes training for teams in exploration, training for breaking through bottlenecks, training for concocting pills, training for setting up formations. Tianshan Chamber of Commerce was currently the 7th largest chamber of commerce in the Northern Sands continent. This training program had attracted the interest of many people. One must know that many cultivators lacked a strong backer and cultivation resources, which resulted in their breakthroughs being slow. If they could spend money to hire a high-level cultivator to guide them in their breakthroughs, their speed would naturally soar. There were also activities like the Fallen God Ocean that were extremely dangerous. Rogue cultivators would most likely die there. Now, they could buy a high-level cultivator from the Chamber of Commerce as their bodyguard. Just the thought of it made them excited. Soon, it was Black Light Chamber of Commerce's turn. In the previous competition, Black Light Chamber of Commerce had scored 8.5 points and was ranked 3rd. Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce had scored 8 points and was ranked 2nd. This made the cultivators from Thousand Merchant House speechless. The venue suddenly went silent. Thousands of pairs of eyes looked at Senior Black Light's clone on the stage. Fellow cultivators, our Black Light Chamber of Commerce has introduced the Sage Realm Supply service in the previous Pill City Pill Conference. We will rent out a few spiritual chi holy grounds that our Chamber of Commerce owns for a fee, providing high-level cultivators for breakthroughs. The Sage Realm Supply service is very effective. However, our Black Light Chamber of Commerce is the 2nd largest chamber of commerce in the North Sand continent. We have always adhered to the concept of breakthrough and innovation. Therefore, in this year's Merchant House of Commerce, Black Light Chamber of Commerce has introduced a new service, Intercontinent Limited Time Travel. The crowd was stunned for a moment, their faces blank. Intercontinent Limited Time Travel? What kind of service is that? Black Light Chamber of Commerce has always introduced a very unique service in every Merchant House of Commerce. I believe this year will not disappoint you. Senior Black Light, don't keep us in suspense. Quickly tell us the details. The crowd looked impatient. Even Yang Tong and Lian Qing were interested. As for sect leader Long, he sat at the side without a change in expression. Only he knew in his heart that he was a little worried about this new project launched by Dark Light. Black Light was very satisfied with everyone's reaction. He gestured with his hand and waited for the crowd to quiet down. The Intercontinent Limited Time Travel Service is to help North Sand Continent cultivators travel to the other 3 continents of the Divine Continent. However, depending on the situation of the different continents, the time is limited. After the introduction, the entire Thousand Merchant House was in an uproar. As a North Sand Continent cultivator, they had a common dream since young. That was to travel to the other 3 continents of the Divine Continent. However, this dream could not be realized. Or rather, it could only be realized if they stepped into the true spirit level. However, the North Sand Continent's spiritual chi was so thin that it was already good enough to produce one true spirit-level powerhouse every year. However, after the Black Light Chamber of Commerce introduced the Intercontinent Limited Time Travel Service, the dream seemed to be right in front of them. However, many rational cultivators quickly calmed down. They guessed that the service would definitely cost an exorbitant price. An average cultivator would not be able to afford it. Even when the Tianshan Chamber of Commerce introduced the Intercontinent Limited Time Travel Service, Qin Feng did not pay much attention to it. However, when he heard that the Black Light Chamber of Commerce introduced the Intercontinent Limited Time Travel Service, Qin Feng was shocked. The first thing that came to Qin Feng's mind was the international tour groups on Earth. They were like Chinese people traveling abroad. The only difference was that traveling to other continents on the divine mainland was much more difficult than traveling abroad on Earth. It was a completely different concept. From this, it could be seen that the Black Light Chamber of Commerce was worthy of being the second largest chamber of commerce in the North Sand continent. They could even carry out the intercontinent limited time travel service. Qin Feng had found a new way to travel to other continents. Senior Blacklight, what's the fee for the intercontinent limited time travel service? Some cultivators asked impatiently. Blacklight's voice was ethereal. As we all know, the North Sand continent is the continent with the least spiritual qi among the 4 continents of the divine continent. It will take a lot of effort to travel to the other 3 continents. Therefore, the fee for this service is not low. The standard price for a person to travel for 7 days is 70 million high-grade spirit stones. Caw. As soon as he said that, 90% of the cultivators became depressed. Chapter 1755. Even a nouveau riche cultivator like Qin Feng felt that the fee for the intercontinent limited time tour launched by the Black Glory Chamber of Commerce was too expensive. 10 million high-grade spirit stones a day, what kind of concept was that? Most importantly, there was a time limit for such transcontinental travel. According to Dark Light, it was usually 7 days. After 7 days, one would be sent back to the North Sand region. What was the difference between going there and not going there? Even so, there were still many representatives of large chambers of commerce who were so excited that they even forgot that they were still participating in the Chamber of Commerce's competition and wanted to sign up for the Intercontinental Limited Time Tour on the spot. President Darklight, count me in. I'm willing to spend 70 million spirit stones to take a look at the South Flat State. Guild Master Darklight, can you elaborate? He could choose any of the other 3 continents with 70 million spirit stones, right? Every continent has 7 days. 70 million and you can stay in Eastfield continent for 7 days. This is such a good deal. When some super rich people spoke, the other cultivators were so depressed that they didn't want to speak. There was a huge gap between the rich and the poor everywhere. Indeed, comparisons were odious. All right. We're still in the Merchant City Chamber of Commerce. As for the specifics of the intercontinent limited time travel, we'll talk about it after the Chamber of Commerce ends. Darklight was very satisfied with the response of the nouveau riche cultivators. The business of intercontinental limited time travel was originally targeted at the nouveau riche cultivators. As long as he could capture their appetite, it would be a success. It was already the Dragonsword Chamber of Commerce's turn to introduce their special services, but everyone's thoughts were still on the intercontinental limited time travel. It had to be said that this service launched by the Black Glory Chamber of Commerce was too shocking. Quiet down, everyone. I'm going to introduce the new business launched by the Dragonsword Chamber of Commerce this time. I believe it won't disappoint you, Sect Master Long's ethereal voice rang out. Judging from his tone, he did not seem to be nervous or worried about the Black Glory Chamber of Commerce launching the Intercontinent Limited Time Travel Service. The cultivators quickly calmed down. In the past, the Dragonsword Chamber of Commerce had always been the champion of the Chamber of Commerce, and the special services they proposed were all very shocking. Sect Leader Long, don't keep us guessing. Hurry up and tell us. This time, the Black Radiance Chamber of Commerce has actually launched an intercontinent limited time travel service. I feel that the Dragonsword Chamber of Commerce is in danger. You guys are underestimating the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce too much. Their reputation as the #1 Chamber of Commerce in the Northern Sand region is not just for show. The cultivators discussed among themselves, feeling that this was no longer a Chamber of Commerce competition, but a solo performance between the Black Radiance Chamber of Commerce and the Dragon Soaring Chamber of Commerce. Dark Light's face was covered by the black hat and his expression could not be seen clearly. However, from the sudden chill in his body, one could guess that he was nervous. Seeing the enthusiastic reaction of the cultivators below the stage, Dragon Soul wore a faint smile on his face. That ethereal voice sounded again, "Everyone, please calm down. Our Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce has launched a 100-person True Spirit service. Once this service is launched, it will definitely drive the cultivators of the entire Northern Sand region into a frenzy." Sect leader Long made it sound so mystical that it instantly piqued everyone's interest. Even Qin Feng became more spirited. He really wanted to know what kind of business could make all the cultivators in the North Sand region go crazy. This old man couldn't be bragging, right? Sect Master Long, what's the 100-people True Spirit business? Someone asked impatiently. Ha! 100 True Spirits is the name I came up with. Just as the name implies, our Dragonsoar Chamber of Commerce intends to select 100 cultivators and help them break through to the True Spirit realm within 3 years. Voila! The whole venue was in an uproar. Let 100 cultivators step into the True Spirit realm. And in just 3 years. This joke was a little too much. Many cultivators even suspected that there was something wrong with their ears. Sect leader Long, you're not joking, right? Let 100 cultivators step into the True Spirit realm. How is that possible? Soon, a large number of cultivators began to question. One should know that the spiritual energy in the North Sand region was scarce. Those who could step into the Buddha Light realm were already considered high-level cultivators. As for True Spirit realm cultivators, there were probably less than 1,000 of them in the entire North Sand region. Yet, the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce boasted that they would train 100 of them within 3 years. Everyone, please calm down. Let me explain the details of the 100-person True Spirit business first. Sect leader Long smiled. As everyone knows, the North Sand region is the place with the least spiritual energy among the 4 great continents of the Divine Mainland. It's not easy to step into the True Spirit realm. That's why the 100-person True Spirit business this time is extremely strict with the selection of cultivators. First, they must step into the Buddha Light 4th transformation, then they must be cultivators with spiritual roots, and their cultivation talents must be at least at the level of a genius. The Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce won't guarantee that these 100 people will step into the True Spirit realm. We can only guarantee that they will be given the best cultivation resources and the personal guidance of me and the branch presidents. Whether or not they can break through to the True Spirit realm will depend on their own luck. The top-notch cultivation resources provided by the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce, and the personal guidance of Sect Leader Long and the branch presidents. Just these 2 points alone were enough to make the crowd boil. Sect Leader Long, I've already stepped into the Buddha Light 6 transformation and I have a water spiritual root. Can I sign up for the 100-person True Spirit business? A cultivator began to fight for a spot. Instantly, the 1,000 Traders building was in an uproar. Those cultivators who were at the Buddha Light 4th transformation and above all fought to sign up. At this time, the tens of thousands of cultivators who were watching the void formation outside the 1,000 Traders building could not remain calm. The 100-person True Spirit business proposed by the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce is too awesome. It's a pity that I can't sign up. You're muddle-headed. This business doesn't require you to be a member of the Chamber of Commerce. As long as you've reached the Buddha Light 4th transformation and have a spiritual root, you can sign up. We can do it too. That's right. We can sign up too. I feel like I'm going to step into the True Spirit realm in 3 years. I'm starting to get arrogant. What should I do? The shouting outside the Thousand Traders building was much louder than inside, surging like a tsunami. However, the Thousand Traders building had a soundproofing array, so the cultivators inside could not hear anything. After learning about the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce's new business, the faces of the Black Radiance Chamber of Commerce disciples darkened. Even they felt like they had failed. Just as the crowd was unable to calm down, Sect Leader Long's voice sounded again. Everyone, don't get too excited. I haven't finished yet. Because the 100-person True Spirit business this time is to groom True Spirit realm powerhouses, the cultivation resources required are all very precious, so the registration fee is definitely not low. Each cultivator needs a cultivation fee of 100 million high-grade spirit stones. Gah! As soon as these words came out, the originally lively scene suddenly quietened down. At least 99% of the cultivators were so scared that they did not dare to speak anymore. Previously, the Black Radiance Chamber of Commerce proposed an intercontinent limited time travel project that required 10 million high-grade spirit stones a day, which was already unacceptable to most cultivators. Now, the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce's fee was even more ferocious, 100 million high-grade spirit stones per person. 100 million it is. As long as I can break through to the True Spirit realm, spending this amount of spirit stones is definitely worth it. That's right. Compared to spending 70 million spirit stones to travel to the other 3 continents for 7 days, spending 100 million to break through to the True Spirit realm is nothing. I want to sign up now. Sect Leader Long, count me in. I'm willing to pay 150 million high-grade spirit stones. Download the app on your phone, Baidu search keywords, Bookkeeper app or directly visit the official website. Chapter 1756. The Chamber of Commerce was about to turn into an auction. The rich cultivators were fighting to sign up for the 100-person True Essence project. No one was interested in the intercontinent limited time travel business anymore. The members of the Black Light Chamber of Commerce were so angry that they kept silent with cold faces. Sect Leader Long was very pleased. He glanced at Dark Light from time to time, full of provocation. Dark Light did not do anything. He was also shocked by the 100-person True Essence project. Everyone, please calm down. We are still in the Chamber of Commerce. After the Chamber of Commerce ends, we will open the 100-person True Essence project. Sect Leader Long smiled. The nouveau riche cultivators were suppressing their excitement. Although they were no longer shouting, their flushed faces showed their excitement. Some were even urging the Chamber of Commerce on. Sect Leader Long, the second round of competition is over. Let's move on to the last round. The last round will test the funds of each Chamber of Commerce. That's simple. Everyone just needs to report the amount of funds to determine the ranking. Everyone had forgotten about the China Chamber of Commerce. Perhaps some still remembered that the China Chamber of Commerce did not display any special services. However, after the 100-person True Essence project of the Dragon Rise Chamber of Commerce, no one cared about the existence of the China Chamber of Commerce anymore. At the end of the day, it was just a small chamber of commerce that had just been established. Even if they were lucky enough to open up some areas in Jiangchuan, how could they launch an eye-catching business? All right. Let's move on to the third round of capital competition. Sect Leader Long knew that the China Chamber of Commerce had yet to display, but he pretended not to know. As Dark Light was suppressed by the Dragon Rise Chamber of Commerce in the second round, he was not in the mood to care about the China Chamber of Commerce. Wait! The China Chamber of Commerce has yet to appear. Qin Fen's voice suddenly came. Many cultivators were suddenly awakened. Oh right. There's still the China Chamber of Commerce. They're the champion of the first round of the Chamber of Commerce. I would have forgotten about that kid if he didn't speak. However, there's no need for the China Chamber of Commerce to display. It's just a waste of everyone's time. Maybe the China Chamber of Commerce can surprise everyone. The crowd was in an uproar. Sect leader Long looked at Qin Fan playfully and said, "So the China Chamber of Commerce has yet to appear. I almost forgot about this new faction. Hurry up and display it." Qin Fan knew that Dragon Soul was doing it on purpose. Although he was displeased, he could not do anything to the old man for now. In actuality, Qin Feng still hadn't thought about what business to launch. This was his first time participating in the Merchant City Chamber of Commerce, and he had only just found out about the competition process. "Why aren't you speaking? If there's no new business, we'll proceed to the third round of the competition." The Dragon Soul lost its patience after waiting for a while. Qin Feng really wanted to kick that old fart, but he knew that would be suicidal. He thought quickly, and his eyes suddenly lit up. The Huaxia Chamber of Commerce has launched the Thousand Buddhas Light project this time. It will not disappoint everyone. As soon as he finished speaking, the myriad merchant house became noisy. Thousand Buddha Aura Project. What the hell is this? Why does it feel like it's an imitation of the Dragon Sword Chamber of Commerce's 100 True Spirit project? Could it be that the Huaxia Chamber of Commerce wants to nurture 1,000 Buddha Light State cultivators? Although there were many Buddha Light Realm cultivators in the North Sand region, it wasn't easy to step into this realm. Wasn't China Trade Union a newly established trade union? Where did they get the strength to nurture 1,000 Buddha Light cultivators? Ha! Everyone, don't listen to that brat's bragging. This Huaxia Chamber of Commerce sure is funny. When they heard that the Dragon Sword Chamber of Commerce had launched a 100-person True Spirit business, they immediately came up with 1,000-person Buddha Light. Even I feel ashamed for them. Listening to these discussions, everyone was not optimistic about the 1,000 Buddhas Light project. They even scoffed at the Huaxia Chamber of Commerce's actions. But not everyone was against this business. In fact, many cultivators were excited when they heard about the 1,000 Buddhas Light project. However, they were also doubting the Huaxia Chamber of Commerce's strength, so they didn't dare to speak up for the time being, lest they slap their own faces. Qin Fan did not care about everyone's reaction. He continued, "The 1,000 Buddhas Light project is as its name suggests. Our Huaxia Chamber of Commerce plans to find 1,000 cultivators and nurture them into Buddha Light Realm cultivators within 3 years." Even the explanation was the same as the Dragon Sword Chamber of Commerce. This was blatant piracy. However, Qin Fan did not feel guilty at all. He did not have a good impression of the Dragon Sword Chamber of Commerce. That group of treacherous people had initially wanted to put him under house arrest on the Dragon Sword Chamber of Commerce's flying ship to refine pills. Later on, Long Outyan even went to the square tower to kick him when he was down. Why should Qin Fan give them face? As for why he suddenly had the idea of piracy, it was because Qin Fan had been living in the Huaxia land, where piracy was common. Bastard! How dare you steal our Dragon Sword Chamber of Commerce's new business? You must be tired of living. Sect Master Long suddenly flew into a rage. With a roar, a strong gust of wind blew in Thousand Traders Tower, as though a storm was brewing. Many cultivators immediately channeled their inner chi to defend themselves, but they were still suffocated. That aura was heading straight for Qin Fan, making him feel a sense of impending doom. However, the aura was so strong that Qin Fan felt as though he had been immobilized. He could not move even if he wanted to. Whing! A buzzing sound echoed in Thousand Traders Tower. Unknowingly, an air barrier had appeared in front of Qin Fan. After the aura of the Dragon Soul collided with the air barrier, the two powerful auras dissipated at the same time. Other than the vibrating air and the sound of a swarm of bees flapping their wings, it was as though nothing had happened. Dark Light, what is the meaning of this? Are you purposely going against the Dragon Sword Chamber of Commerce? Sect Master Long did not make another move. A cold aura shot to his side. An ancient and powerful aura shot out from Dark Light's body as he said in an ethereal voice, "Sect Master Long, I'm not going against the Dragon Sword Chamber of Commerce. It's just that as one of the judges for this year's Chamber of Commerce competition, I have to fulfill my responsibility. On the other hand, the Dragon Sword Chamber of Commerce has been trying to suppress the Huaxia Chamber of Commerce time and time again. Don't tell me you're afraid that the Huaxia Chamber of Commerce will steal your limelight. Sect Master Long, you're bending the law for personal gain." As a judge of the Chamber of Commerce, who would be willing to be labeled as bending the law for personal gain? Dragon's soul was instantly enraged. "Dark Light, don't you dare slander me. The truth is right in front of us. It's the Huaxia Chamber of Commerce that stole the Dragon Sword Chamber of Commerce's new business. That's why I'm teaching that arrogant little grandson a lesson. Sect Master Long, you're being a little overbearing. There's no rule that only one Chamber of Commerce can propose the same business. There are many chambers of commerce that propose the same business in every Chamber of Commerce competition. I've never seen Sect Master Long lose your temper before." His words rendered Dragon's soul speechless. It was true that he wanted to suppress Qin Fen, so he would take action whenever he had something on him. "Thank you, Senior Dark Light, for upholding justice." Qin Fen acted according to the situation. Dragon's soul was so angry that he was about to explode again. Dark Light spoke first, "Don't worry, Qin Fen. As one of the judges of the Chamber of Commerce, I'll fulfill my responsibility. You just have to continue introducing the Thousand Buddhas Light project. If anyone dares to bend the law for personal gain again, I won't let him off easily." His words were obviously hinting at Sect Master Long, but Dragon's soul could not say anything. Otherwise, it would mean that he had admitted to bending the law for personal gain. Not only did he not refute Dark Light, he even said, "That's right. With me, Dragon's soul, here, I won't allow anyone to break the rules that the Chamber of Commerce has established for hundreds of years." Everyone sighed inwardly. These two chamber masters were both cunning old foxes. In fact, neither of them was a good person. However, they only dared to complain in their hearts. If they said it out loud, they would be courting death. Sect Master Long remained silent with a cold face. Qin Fen heaved a sigh of relief. After looking at Dark Light gratefully, he continued explaining the Thousand Buddhas Light project. There are many Buddha's light cultivators in the northern sand continent, but it's not that easy to break through to the light of Buddha's light. Our China Chamber of Commerce has launched the Thousand Buddha's Light project. We promise that within 3 years, all 1,000 cultivators will be able to step into the light of Buddha's light. Whoosh! The crowd went wild again. There was actually a full refund. Young hero Qin, are you kidding? We can get a full refund if we can't break through to the light of Buddha's light. President Qin, you mentioned earlier that the time limit for the Thousand Buddhas Light project is 3 years, right? 100% to step into the light of Buddha's light within 3 years. That sounds tempting. How many spirit stones is the registration fee? Some of the cultivators who were tempted began to ask. In fact, most of the cultivators present were only Saint Kings. Compared to the 100 Truths Soul project, the Thousand Buddhas Light project targeted a wider range of customers. Seeing everyone's enthusiastic reaction, Qin Fen was very satisfied. It seemed that the pirated version was not only useful in China, but also in the Divine Continent. That's right. The Thousand Buddhas Light project has a time limit of 3 years. The participants are Saint King level 4 and above, regardless of whether they have spiritual roots or not. The registration fee is 1 million high-grade spirit stones. If you can't break through to the light of Buddha's light within 3 years, all the spirit stones will be refunded. 1 million spirit stones could allow a Saint King to step into the light of Buddha's light. This was definitely a profitable deal. This time, the crowd went wild. But this was just the beginning. What Qin Fen said next shocked everyone. Let me add one more thing. For all the cultivators who successfully sign up for the 1000 Buddha's Light project, our China Chamber of Commerce will provide one spirit surge pill for free. Gah! The crowd went silent. Everyone was so shocked that they couldn't speak. Now, the spirit surge pill was popular in the entire northern sand continent. It had become the most sought-after pill in the eyes of billions of cultivators. But the supply of the spirit surge pill was limited. In the entire northern sand continent, only the Square Tower was refining it. As for the other pill shops, they were only selling it on behalf of others, but Qin Fen was giving away 1000 spirit surge pills for free. How extravagant was this? Even the disciples of the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce and the Black Radiance Chamber of Commerce were dumbfounded. President Qin, you're not joking, right? Your China Chamber of Commerce can get 1000 spirit surge pills. Very soon, someone came to his senses and voiced his doubts. This question was on everyone's mind. Thousands of eyes stared straight at Qin Fen. Once again, he became the focus of the entire venue. Since I dared to say these things in the Merchant City Chamber of Commerce's competition, I naturally wouldn't lie to everyone. If you're still worried, I can tell you something. Actually, I refined the Spirit Surge pill not long ago at the Pill City's Pill Shop Conference. Chapter 1757. For a moment, the screams were like surging waves. Guild leader Qin, are you joking with us? I remember now. The young hero who concocted the spirit-charging pill at the Pill Workshop Conference is called Qin Fen. I heard that he has a deep relationship with the Four-Square Tower. Update quickly, no ads. There are also rumors that young hero Qin is Senior Long's only disciple. This relationship is too powerful. Holy shit. So he is that young hero Qin. Many people suddenly realized that Qin Fen was young hero Qin, who had become famous at the Elixir Workshop Conference not long ago. After his identity was exposed, everyone believed that the Huaxia Chamber of Commerce could provide 1000 spirit surge pills. Young Master Qin, I'm willing to pay 1 million upper-grade spirit stones to sign up for the 1000 Buddha's Light project. Guild leader Qin, I can pay you 2 million. Just give me the spirit surge pill. 1 million high-grade spirit stones for a free spirit surge pill and a promise to break through to the Buddha Light stage within 3 years. Why do I feel like I'm dreaming? Even though the spirit surge pill only cost 50,000 spirit stones per pill in the four-way tower, it was still in short supply. There were spirit surge pills on sale in the black market, but the price of a single spirit surge pill was at least 500,000 high-tier spirit stones. When sect leader Long saw that the Huaxia Chamber of Commerce had suddenly become the center of attention and that no one was interested in the 100% true spirit business, his expression turned extremely cold. He glared at Qin Fen with a murderous look in his eyes. All of you, quiet down. This is the competition venue of the Merchants' Chamber of Commerce. Whoever dares to do anything unrelated will be forced to withdraw from the competition immediately. Sect Master Long's ethereal voice rang out. Earlier, when everyone asked the Dragonsaur Chamber of Commerce about the 100 True Spirit Project, he did not say anything. Sect leader Long, you don't have to be angry over such a small matter. Didn't you get angry when everyone signed up for the 100% True Soul event? Dark Light would not let go of any opportunity to humiliate Dragon Soul. Dark Light, are you looking for trouble on purpose? The Dragon Soul exuded a powerful aura. He Yao chuckled and said, Sect leader Long, you've misunderstood. The second round of the competition has ended and the scores are out. I'll now announce the results. White Tiger Commerce scored 3. 0 in the second round, ranking 97th in both rounds. The Flying Cloud Chamber of Commerce scored 7.3 points in the second round and ranked 10th overall. The Black Glory Chamber of Commerce scored 8.3 points in the second round, ranking 3rd overall after 2 rounds. The Dragon's Ore Chamber of Commerce scored 9.0 in the second round, ranking 2nd overall. China Chamber of Commerce scored 9.3 in the second round, ranked 1st overall. Most of the Merchant Association scores and rankings were within everyone's expectations. However, the Flying Cloud Merchant Association became a dark horse that charged into the top 10 merchant associations, causing the crowd to exclaim in surprise. However, no matter how powerful the Flying Cloud Trade Union was, it couldn't compare to the Huaxia Trade Union. This trade union, which had only been established for less than half a year, had already taken the lead in the first 2 rounds of the competition. The people of the Dragon's Ore Chamber of Commerce were very dissatisfied with their current results. They had been the #1 Chamber of Commerce in the Northern Sands region for a long time and had never thought that they would be surpassed. Moreover, it would be fine if they were surpassed by the Black Glory Chamber of Commerce, but if they were to be snatched away by a newly established Chamber of Commerce, it would be shameful enough to say it out loud. The 3rd round will now begin. Sect leader Long coldly glared at Qin Feng before announcing the start of the final round of the Merchant City's Chamber of Commerce. Regarding this competition of funds, sect leader Long was full of confidence. After all, the Soaring Dragon Merchant Guild had been developing in the Northern Sand region for a long time, and the depth of their foundation was not something that ordinary merchant guilds could compare to. Even the Black Radiant Merchant Guild could not compare to them. The capital competition was also conducted according to the total results of the first 2 rounds, from lowest to highest. 3 chambers of commerce, 35 teleportation points, 2 cities, 1 market, and 1 billion high-grade spirit stones. The Sky Mountain Chamber of Commerce has 150 teleportation points, 15 cities, 3 markets, 2 large flying true artifacts, 2 sacred cultivation grounds, 20 billion high-grade spirit stones. Although Qin Feng was prepared, he was still shocked when the Chamber of Commerce reported their financial situation. This was especially so for the current top 10 merchant associations in the Northern Sand region. Their foundations were so strong that it left one speechless. Even the Heaven Mountain Merchant Association was only the 7th largest merchant association in the Northern Sand region, but the resources they possessed were extremely abundant. However, this was only the beginning. Following that, the Chamber of Commerce's influence became even more ferocious. Every time a fund was reported, it would cause a cry of surprise. Soon, it was the Black Light Chamber of Commerce's turn to appear. The originally noisy Thousand Traders Tower suddenly quietened down as thousands of gazes landed on Black Light with anticipation. Black Glory Merchant Guild has 1,552 teleportation points, 150 cities, 15 city squares, 5 large flying true artifact grade flying true artifact, 1 intercontinent flying true artifact, 5 Sage Realms, 500 billion high-rank spirit stones. Black Light's voice was faintly discernible, but it sounded like thunder exploding in everyone's mind. As expected of the 2nd largest merchant association in the Northern Sand region. Just the amount of resources it possessed took an incense's time to recite it. TSK TSK. If only I had all these resources, I would be able to break through the Nihility God stage, much less the Buddha or a true spirit. Black Glory Merchant Guild's foundation is not limited to this. President Black Light must be hiding something. After all, he can't possibly reveal everything. Black Glory Merchant Guild is already so powerful. I really can't imagine how strong the Soaring Dragon Merchant Guild's foundation is. The audience discussed incessantly. Qin Feng was so shocked that he did not want to speak anymore. In order to participate in the Merchant City's Chamber of Commerce, Qin Feng brought all 360 million spirit stones that he had. He even got Sea Medicine Sect, South Pavilion Chamber of Commerce and other forces to contribute funds to participate. Even so, China Chamber of Commerce had only raised a total of 1.5 billion high-rank spirit stones. Based on the funds reported by the other merchant associations, this amount of spirit stones could only be ranked at the bottom. Moreover, China Chamber of Commerce had just been established not long ago. It did not have many teleportation points, nor did it have many cities. It had not even occupied a single market. As for large airships, it did not even have a single one. Sage realm cultivation and continental flight cultivation weapons were out of the question. President Blacklight had already finished speaking. The cultivators below the stage were still in shock. At this moment, Dragon Soul stood up and spoke. The Dragonzor Chamber of Commerce has 2,552 teleportation points, 350 cities, 50 city squares, 10 large flying true artifact grade flying true artifacts, 2 intercontinent flying true artifacts, 10 sage cultivation grounds, 3 spirit vein cave mansions, 1 trillion high-grade spirit stones. After Dragon Soul reported the situation of Soaring Dragon Merchant Guild, the noisy Thousand Traders House quietened down. Everyone was shocked. They had long been shocked by the Soaring Dragon Merchant Guild's deep foundation. They could not even speak. Even Qin Feng was shocked. The strength of Soaring Dragon Merchant Guild had exceeded his expectations. Only now did he realize what a powerful force he had offended. It was not easy for him to survive until now. In this merchant city's Chamber of Commerce, Soaring Dragon Merchant Guild had suppressed everyone in all 3 rounds. Even Black Glory Merchant Guild had fallen by a level. If not for the sudden appearance of China Chamber of Commerce in the first 2 rounds, Soaring Dragon Merchant Guild would have taken first place this time. Chapter 1758. When it was China Chamber of Commerce's turn, everyone looked at Qin Fen expectantly. Qin Fen had brought unexpected surprises in the previous 2 rounds, so this round would most likely not be any worse. However, everyone was soon disappointed. Qin Fen said, China Chamber of Commerce has 35 teleportation points, 25 cities, 1 market, no true artifact grade large-scale flying true artifact, no continent crossing true artifact grade flying true artifact, no sage realm cultivators, a total of 1.5 billion high-grade spirit stones. Qin Fen felt helpless when he reported his own foundation, especially when he was ranked behind Black Radiance Chamber of Commerce and Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce. The difference between them was too great. What's going on? Is China Chamber of Commerce that poor? China Chamber of Commerce has just been established. It's already very good for it to be able to develop to this stage. Naturally, it can't be compared to Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce and Black Radiance Chamber of Commerce. It can't even compare to the top 10 chambers of commerce. If it's this weak, how can they nurture 1,000 Light of Buddha cultivators? Where are they going to get those cultivation resources from? As soon as Qin Fen finished speaking, the crowd broke into a heated discussion. Sect leader Long, who had been sullen for the entire morning, smiled and said in an ethereal voice, "All right, today's 3 rounds of the Chamber of Commerce competition have ended. Now, let's calculate the score and total score of the 3rd round." Actually, even without detailed calculations, Dragon Soul knew that China Chamber of Commerce's total score would not exceed Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce's. In the final round, China Chamber of Commerce's foundation was too weak and they would probably be ranked last. The calculation seemed to take a long time. The disciples of the Chambers of Commerce in Myriad Merchant Building were all eager to move. They were all looking forward to the final ranking results. After about 1.5 hours, Sect leader Long stood up. From the joyful expression on his face, it was obvious that Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce had taken first place again. Ha! This year's Chamber of Commerce's results are out. Now, let me announce the rankings. 231st place, for Leaves Chamber of Commerce, total score 6. 3 points. 10th place, China Chamber of Commerce, total score 20. 0 points. Congratulations to 8th place, Flying Cloud Chamber of Commerce. This is the new top 10 Chamber of Commerce in the Northern Sand region, total score 22. 1 points. 2nd place, Black Radiance Chamber of Commerce. 1st place is still Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce. Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce has held the title of number 1 Chamber of Commerce in the Northern Sand region for many years. No one can match it. Sect leader Long seemed to have it this way. When he reported China Chamber of Commerce and Black Radiance Chamber of Commerce's and Black Chamber, he mentioned it briefly. The ranking of this year's Chamber of Commerce had been decided. Some people were happy, while others were sad. 2 new names appeared in the Northern Sand region's top 10 merchant associations. One was the 10th-ranked Chinese Merchant Association, while the other was the 8th-ranked Flying Cloud Merchant Association. As for the previous 7th-ranked Sky Merchant Association, it had dropped to 12th. It could be seen how intense the competition was in the Northern Sand region. The Huaxia Chamber of Commerce only got 10th place. How unexpected. What's there to be surprised about? After all, their score in the 3rd round was too low. They had pulled down their score from the first 2 rounds. For a newly established trading association like this to be able to squeeze into the top 10 trading associations in the Northern Sand region is already heaven-defying. The Dragon's Ore Chamber of Commerce is truly impressive. I wonder how many more chambers of commerce it will be before a new faction can replace them as number 1. The crowd was discussing the new rankings. The Chamber of Commerce had come to an end. Many factions that had dropped in the rankings shook their heads and sighed as they left. Qin Feng was very satisfied with his 10th place. The reason why he had participated in this year's Chamber of Commerce was firstly to complete the system's quest, and secondly to become one of the top 10 trading associations in the Northern Sand region. This was because only by entering the top 10 trading associations could they trade with other continents and have the right to travel to the other 3 continents. Ding! Congratulations host Qin Feng for completing the second side quest of number 1 Chamber of Commerce. You have successfully participated in a Chamber of Commerce exchange and established the name of China Chamber of Commerce. The system rewards host Qin Feng 500,000 Hedonist points and 1 Flying Cloud drill from Star Saint Technology. Host Qin Feng points total, 2,634,000 Hedonist points. The system notification suddenly sounded. Qin Feng couldn't wait to look at the Flying Cloud drill, but a cold voice suddenly sounded in his ears. Qin Feng, your China Chamber of Commerce is one of the new top 10 trading associations. Come with me, I will give you the Chamber of Commerce's honorary jade plate. Qin Feng didn't need to raise his head to know that it was the Dragon Soul's voice. He knew that this old man wasn't just giving him a jade plate. If he really left with him, he would lose his life. For a moment, Qin Feng was not in the mood to study the Star Saint, Flying Cloud drill. Just as he was thinking about how to escape, another voice sounded in his ears. Sect Leader Long, I will handle the jade plate and the registration of the Chamber of Commerce. I have some private matters to discuss with young hero Qin Feng. Qin Feng felt much more at ease. He looked at Dark Light gratefully. Although he knew that the old man did not help him for no reason, he did not need to explain the fact that Dark Light had saved him 3 times. Chairman Qin, can I sign up for the 1000 Buddhist Aura project now? Both the Dragon Soul and Dark Light used special voice transmissions to communicate with Qin Feng. Apart from Qin Feng, no one else in the room could hear them. A large group of cultivators had already gathered around Qin Feng. They were all here for the 1000-person Buddhist Aura project. Although the Huaxia Chamber of Commerce had shocked everyone in the last round of the competition, the Free Spirit Surge pill was enough to attract thousands of cultivators to sign up. You can sign up now. However, Chairman Darklight has something to discuss with me. Why don't you follow me to the Dark Light Chamber of Commerce first? After I finish talking with Chairman Darklight, we will start the recruitment. Qin Feng purposely pulled these people together. He believed that the dragon soul would not dare to do anything to him in front of so many people. That would cause public outrage. The crowd agreed without hesitation. After all, there were many cultivators who wanted to join the Thousand Buddhas Aura project. If they did not go to the Dark Light Chamber of Commerce and queue up now, they would not have the chance to do so. Qin Feng secretly glanced at Dark Light. The latter had already stood up. His body floated in the air like a ghost. His body emitted a layer of light that looked like mist, as if an immortal had left. Qin Feng immediately followed, and the other cultivators from the Chamber of Commerce followed suit. Long Outyen was a little anxious. He glanced at Sect Leader Long, but found that Sect Leader Long was indifferent. Lord Sect Leader, this kid has gone against the Dragonrise Chamber of Commerce several times. Now that he has become the only disciple of Long Qianjun, we can't let him go just like that. Seeing that Qin Feng had left, Long Outyen could not help but communicate with the dragon soul using voice transmissions. None of those who have offended the Dragonsaur Chamber of Commerce will survive. That bastard must die, so there's no need to rush. First, find the culprit who massacred our disciples and bring him to me within 3 days. Since Sect Leader Long had given the order, even if Long Outyen was full of grievances, he could only watch as Qin Feng left. When he recalled that someone had massacred his own disciples in the mall not long ago, his expression turned cold. Chapter 1759. In an ancient wooden house, Qin Feng and He Yao sat cross-legged facing each other. He Yao was still in a black robe with a black hat covering his face, but his aura had changed drastically. The hazy layer of light and mist had disappeared, and his aura had become much more solid. Qin Feng knew that he was facing President He Yao's real body. Junior Qin Feng greets President He Yao. Thank you for saving me several times. In front of a virtual God Realm powerhouse, Qin Feng felt pressured. He still could not figure out He Yao's motive for looking for him. Even though He Yao had saved him previously, it was all to suppress the soaring dragon chamber of commerce. He Yao did not speak and took the initiative to pour a cup of tea for Qin Feng. Qin Feng looked at it and was shocked. This was a spiritual tea brewed from a level 6 spiritual grass. Waves of dense spiritual energy wafted out, and just the smell of the tea made one feel refreshed. Great tea. Qin Feng did not stand on ceremony. He took a sip of the spiritual tea and praised it. At the same time, he was amazed at He Yao Merchant Guild's strong foundation to use level 6 spiritual grass as tea leaves. I wonder why President He Yao wants to meet me alone. Qin Feng asked. He Yao raised his head, and Qin Feng finally saw his appearance. It was an extremely young and handsome face, and he seemed to be around the same age as Qin Feng. However, Qin Feng knew that the other party was definitely not that old. He must have eaten some kind of beauty pill to maintain his skin to the appearance of a 20 or 30-year-old. You're Long Qianjun's disciple? He Yao's question stumped Qin Feng. Qin Feng had thought of hundreds of reasons why He Yao would look for him, but he did not expect the other party to ask about his master. That's right. Master took me in as a disciple a few months ago. Qin Feng did not hide it. This matter had already spread throughout the northern Sand continent. Do you know the relationship between Long Qianjun and the Soaring Dragon Merchant Guild? He Yao's tone was calm and emotionless. Although Qin Feng had entered the Imperial Spirit Pill sect, he did not know much about his master. Other than knowing that his master was the top elixir king in the Northern Sand Continent and had reached the peak of True Spirit Realm 9, he knew nothing else. Seeing Qin Fen's expression, He Yao understood immediately. Without waiting for Qin Fen to speak, he continued, Long Qianjun and Long Hun came from the same sect and founded the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce together. Long Qianjun was the president of the Chamber of Commerce, and Long Hun was the vice president. At this point, Qin Fen's expression changed drastically. He suddenly understood many things. It was no wonder that when Long Aodian led a group of people to the square tower to cause trouble that day, not only did Qin Fen fail to intimidate Long Aodian when he mentioned his master, Long Qianjun, but Long Aodian even mocked him. What happened after that? Qin Feng asked subconsciously. Dark Light took a sip of the spiritual tea and seemed to be reminiscing about the past. The Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce had just started, but it developed rapidly and became one of the top 10 chambers of commerce in the Northern Sand region. Long Qianjun was about to step into the virtual god realm. It was a double blessing, however, when he was about to break through, the dragon's soul betrayed him, causing Long Qianjun's breakthrough to fail and his cultivation base to plummet. Long Qianjun fought with 12 spirit-detecting realm cultivators and 100 Buddha light realm cultivators for 3 days and 3 nights. In the end, he escaped with severe injuries. In the next few decades, there was no news of Long Qianjun. Many people thought that he had died. Who would have thought that he would resurface in the Pill City Alchemy Meet 30 years ago and concocted the immortal grade spirit congealing pill on the spot, becoming the #1 elixir king in the Northern Sand region. At this point, Dark Light suddenly stopped and drank the spiritual tea leisurely. It seemed that he had finished his story. Qin Fen clenched his fists and his eyes were spitting fire. He already had a grudge against the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce. Now that he found out that Long Hun was so despicable that his master almost died, his hatred for the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce deepened. Thank you, President Dark Light, for telling me the truth. Did you call me here to tell me about this? Qin Fen quickly calmed down. He felt that Dark Light was getting more and more mysterious. This is just a prelude. Now, we can talk about the real business. Dark Light glanced at Qin Fen and continued, I have always been straightforward. The reason I saved you previously was to suppress Long Hun's morale. Now that I've called you here, I want to cooperate with you. After all, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Qin Fen understood why Dark Light brought up his master's past. This was to create hatred between him and the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce. However, Dark Light's actions were unnecessary. Even without the incident with Long Qianjun, the conflict between Qin Fen and the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce could not be resolved. It is my honor to cooperate with the Dark Light Chamber of Commerce. Facing the massive Dark Light Chamber of Commerce, Qin Fen did not dare to be careless. Be it in terms of power or wealth, the current China Chamber of Commerce was worlds apart. Don't be anxious. It's hard to say whether we can cooperate or not. It depends on your sincerity. Dark Light's voice was emotionless. Senior Dark Light, please speak your mind. Are you willing to hand over the pill formula of the Spirit Surge pill? This way, you can show your sincerity. In the future, the China Chamber of Commerce can enter the teleportation point of the Dark Light Chamber of Commerce. If you encounter any trouble, the Dark Light Chamber of Commerce will do its best to help. It turned out that Dark Light had his eyes on the pill formula of the Spirit Surge pill. This was within Qin Fen's expectations. After all, with his current foundation, other than the Spirit Surge pill, there seemed to be nothing else that could attract Dark Light. Speaking of the Spirit Surge pill, it was the only pill in the Northern Sand region that could develop a cultivator's spiritual roots. Although Lu Hui had taken out an Earth Spirit pill on the soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce's airship, that pill could only help a cultivator develop spiritual roots. How could it compare to the Spirit Surge pill? Therefore, the Spirit Surge pill was extremely precious in everyone's eyes. It could even be called a peerless pill. However, this pill was nothing to Qin Feng. In fact, there were records of 2 types of pills that could develop spiritual roots in his possession. It was just that the 2 pill formulas required high-grade spiritual herbs and were not as simple as the Spirit Surge pill. No problem. Using the pill formula of the Spirit Surge pill to obtain the protection of the Dark Light Chamber of Commerce, Qin Feng agreed without hesitation. For the first time, Dark Light's expression changed. He did not expect Qin Feng to agree so readily. He even said with suspicion, "This is not a game. You better think about it carefully." Qin Feng understood Dark Light's thoughts and said with a smile, "Actually, if President Dark Light really wanted the pill formula, you could have snatched it from my hands. However, Senior did not do so. Instead, you asked for my opinion. This is something that I admire. Moreover, the Spirit Surge pill is a miraculous pill that can benefit all cultivators in the Divine Continent. This pill formula should be made public so that all cultivators can enjoy the benefits of the Spirit Surge pill. Today, I'm giving the pill formula to Senior for free. It's not a big deal." As he spoke, a cowhide scroll fell on the jade table. Dark Light grabbed it and read it. His hands gradually trembled. It really is the pill formula of the Spirit Surge pill. Although young hero Qin's cultivation base is not high, his thinking far exceeds mine. Dark Light kept the pill formula. His attitude towards Qin Feng had obviously changed. Qin Feng felt a little depressed. He had seen countless genius cultivators, especially among his peers. None of them had a higher cultivation base than him. This was the first time he met someone who said his cultivation base was low. However, when he recalled that President He Yao had already stepped into the empty god realm, Qin Feng couldn't even find the words to retort. After talking about the Spirit Surge pill, Dark Light was curious about how the China Chamber of Commerce had opened up the Jiangchuan region. Although Qin Feng had only opened up over 30 teleportation points, it was already very difficult to achieve this. Qin Feng did not hide anything and told him about the shareholding development strategy. Even President Dark Light, who was the second largest chamber of commerce in the northern Sand Continent, was confused by the business model from Earth. Hee hee. I'm getting old and my thinking can't be compared to you youngsters. Although there are still many things that I don't understand about your shareholding strategy, I can feel that this development model is unprecedented and will achieve great results. As the conversation went on, Dark Light's view of Qin Feng changed again and again. He even had a strange thought that cooperating with the China Chamber of Commerce was the best choice that Dark Light had made. The two of them talked from afternoon to night and settled many details of the cooperation. During the conversation, Qin Feng even mentioned his personal conflict with the Dragonrise Chamber of Commerce. However, he did not mention the incident where he killed the Dragonrise Chamber of Commerce's disciples at Merchant City. After all, he had just gotten to know Dark Light and had yet to fully understand him. Dark Light asked him to stay at Merchant City. As long as he was in Merchant City, the people from the Dragonrise Chamber of Commerce would not dare to act rashly. After all, Merchant City was jointly guarded by the 10 largest chambers of commerce in the northern Sand Continent. If anyone dared to cause trouble at Merchant City, they would be punished by the 10 largest chambers of commerce. Even if the dragon soul killed someone here, it would be punished accordingly. Qin Feng decided to stay at Merchant City for 3 days. Coincidentally, the Chamber of Commerce had just ended and many sects and forces would come to Merchant City to look for the Chamber of Commerce for missions. This was a good opportunity for the Chamber of Commerce to make a name for itself and Qin Feng did not want to miss it. Young hero Qin is out. President Qin, can we start the registration for the 1000 Buddha Aura project? When Qin Fen walked out of the house, it was already late at night. However, he found thousands of cultivators still waiting in the spacious courtyard. It turned out that these people were cultivators from the 1000 Merchants building. They had been waiting for Qin Fen until now. Their desire for the elixir was obvious. Qin Fen had originally planned to rest in the guest room and study the star sage, Flying Cloud All. However, when he saw the huge crowd in front of him, he knew that he had to settle the 1000 Buddha Aura project first. Actually, this project was something that Qin Fen had come up with at the Chamber of Commerce. He had completely copied the 1000 Buddha Aura project that the Dragon Rise Chamber of Commerce had proposed. Now that these cultivators had taken it seriously, Qin Fen did not know whether to laugh or cry. However, it was not difficult for him to cultivate 1000 Buddha Aura cultivators. Moreover, the time limit was 3 years, and the cultivators who signed up had to be at least Saint King level 4. Qin Fen believed that as long as he refined more elixirs for Saint King level, it would not be difficult for him to break through. Qin Fen quickly calculated the cost. The registration fee for each cultivator was 1 million high-grade spirit stones, and the cost of the elixirs they needed to break through was at most 100,000 spirit stones. In this way, Qin Fen could make a net profit of 900,000 from each student. 1,000 students would be 900 million high-grade spirit stones. Indeed, in any place, doing business was the most profitable. Chapter 1760. The registration for the 1000 Buddha's Aura project has begun. As long as you're a 4th realm Saint King, you can sign up. Everyone, please leave your name first. I'll go to Flame Haven in a few days to collect the fees. Since he was going to start the 1000 Buddha's Aura project, it was necessary to find a place to cultivate. Qin Fen thought about it and finally chose Flame Haven. He had left the Zhu family in Flame Haven, so Flame Haven was without a master. If Qin Fen wanted to, he could conquer the city at any time. In fact, Qin Fen had considered letting everyone cultivate in Ling Xian Kingdom. After all, the energy concentration there was higher than the average market. However, he couldn't expose Ling Xian Kingdom for now. Otherwise, the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce would find trouble with him. Thousands of cultivators fought to reserve a spot after learning that they could sign up. Some cultivators even paid 1 million spirit stones on the spot, afraid that their spots would be taken away. The crowd finally dispersed after midnight. Qin Fen was no longer sleepy, so he went back to his room to study the Flying Cloud All. Star Saint, Flying Cloud All was a type of aircraft produced by Star Saint technology. It was at the same level as Star Saint, 1000-threaded lightning net and Star Saint, 100-mile light sniper. However, this aircraft was different from the flying artifacts Qin Fen had seen in the Divine Continent. First of all, the material of the Flying Cloud All was very special. Qin Fen hadn't even seen it on the Divine Continent. Star Saint, Flying Cloud All made with Universe Stone as the main material, the aircraft was indestructible and light. It was a flying artifact. Energy supply, any energy source. Qin Fen looked at the introduction of the Flying Cloud All and had a general understanding. Sure enough, Star Saint Technology's energy supply was improved to any energy source. It wasn't like the Wind Cloud Mad Demon Cannon and the Black Dragon and White Phoenix series of battle armor that required specific energy stones. However, Qin Fen was puzzled about the main material of the Flying Cloud All. He didn't know much about Universe Stone, but judging from its name, it wasn't a material that could be found in the Divine Continent. This made Qin Fen wonder where the system came from. When Qin Fen walked out of his room, the sky was already bright. With a thought, he disappeared into the distance in a flash of golden light. After flying for some distance, Qin Fen chose a desolate valley and landed. He looked around to make sure there was no one around before taking out the Star Saint, Flying Cloud All. Buzz! After the Flying Cloud All was released, the surroundings rippled with a strange energy. Qin Feng didn't understand the energy that came from Star Technology's products, but he was sure that this energy was different from Spirit Qi. It was like the energy emitted by Energy Star Stones. Although it could also be used for cultivation, it was definitely not Spirit Qi. Moreover, the energy contained in an Energy Star Stone was incredibly powerful. After conversion, it was easier for people to absorb than Spirit Qi, greatly increasing the efficiency of cultivation. Qin Feng even considered switching to using the energy from Star Technology to cultivate. However, when he thought of the price of an Energy Star Stone, he immediately dispelled this crazy idea. In its initial form, the Star Saint, Soaring Cloud All was only the size of an ordinary flying artifact. It looked like it could only accommodate 2 people, but Qin Feng knew that this Soaring Cloud All could accommodate up to 1,000 people at most. It was not just a simple flying artifact. It could already be called a large-scale flying artifact on the Divine Supreme Continent, just like the flying ship that the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce used to sail to the Fallen God Sea. Moreover, through this trip to the Merchant City's Chamber of Commerce, Qin Feng also learned that there was a flying artifact that was even more powerful than a large-scale flying artifact. It was called the Intercontinental Flying Artifact. This kind of flying artifact had a larger space and could accommodate 10,000 people at the same time. Moreover, the materials used to make it were extremely precious, and it could carry out intercontinental flying activities. Qin Feng sighed slightly in his heart. He knew that the Star Saint, Soaring Cloud All could only reach the level of a large-scale flying artifact on the Divine Supreme Continent, but it could not be compared to the Intercontinental Flying Artifact. However, he quickly became excited again. After all, suddenly obtaining a large-scale flying artifact was something to be happy about. With a slight thought, the Soaring Cloud All slowly rose up. As it rose, the flying artifact kept growing bigger. The Soaring Cloud All's design was a little peculiar. It had a triangular shape, an extremely sharp nose, and a gradually widening tail. Soon, Qin Feng realized that when the Soaring Cloud All grew to its maximum size, it was like a huge dark cloud covering a large part of the sky. He hurriedly shrunk the Soaring Cloud All again. After all, there were very few forces in the Northern Sands continent that possessed large-scale flying artifacts. Moreover, every large-scale flying artifact had its own identification mark. If the Soaring Cloud All was accidentally discovered by others, it would be unnecessary trouble. Qin Feng shrunk the Soaring Cloud All back to its original state and leaped into the interior of the flying artifact. The space inside was spacious, and it would not feel cramped even if 2 people were inside. Qin Feng threw some spirit stones into the energy supply slot, and the Soaring Cloud All turned into a flash of lightning and disappeared into the distance. Fast. It's really too fast. Qin Feng, who was used to using flying swords and low-grade flying artifacts, was instantly stunned by the Soaring Cloud All's speed. Although this flying artifact was not as big as the flying artifact that the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce used to fly to the Fallen God Sea, its speed was definitely not inferior to that ship. Moreover, Qin Feng had a premonition that the defense of the Soaring Cloud All was definitely extremely strong. It was not something that the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce's flying artifact could compare to. In his excitement, Qin Feng drove the Soaring Cloud All to Face City, and from there to Merchant City. According to the speed of the flying artifact that he had gotten from Li Sha, a round trip would take at least 2 days and 1 night. Now, it had taken him less than half a day. Qin Feng had finally satisfied his craving for high-speed flying. He landed in the valley, kept the Soaring Cloud All, and stepped on his flying sword to return to the Black Radiant Merchant Guild. This Soaring Cloud All was too powerful, so Qin Feng had to be more careful. In the next 2 days, the Black Radiant Merchant Guild's door was almost broken by people. Most of them came to congratulate the Black Radiant Merchant Guild and build a good relationship with them. However, there were also some who came to look for Qin Fun. Now that the China Merchant Guild had squeezed into the ranks of the new top 10 merchant guilds in the Northern Sands continent, and was able to refine the Spirit Surge pill, its reputation was no longer the same as before. President Qin, there are people outside requesting to see you. Darklight arranged a superior guest room for Qin Fun and assigned 2 early-stage True Spirit Realm cultivators as guards. Qin Fun had received too many guests in the past 2 days, so he seemed a little numb and said, "Let them in." A group of cultivators walked into the house, and one of them shouted in surprise, "Young hero Qin, I can finally talk to you." Qin Fun recognized the newcomer immediately. It was Lin Hao of the Lin family. Qin Fun had formed a deep friendship with Lin Hao and Wen Yiming when they were exploring the Godfall Sea's mystic realm. After that, Qin Fun and Wen Yiming went to the Spirit Immortal City, while Lin Hao rushed back to the Lin family. When he left, his Buddha's light was at the first change, and now, he had stepped into the second change. "Brother Lin, I wanted to talk to you 2 days ago in the Myriad Merchant House, but I couldn't find the chance. Today, let us brothers catch up." Even though Qin Feng was famous now, he was still the same Qin Feng from before. He did not put on airs in front of Lin Hao. This made Lin Hao very gratified. Chapter 1761. There were more than 20 people who came with Lin Hao, but they weren't disciples of the Xinyuan Lin family. They were all from the Jiangchuan area. "Young hero Qin, let me introduce you. These seniors are the city lords and sect leaders of the Jiangchuan area. They are here to discuss cooperation with the China Chamber of Commerce." Lin Hao smiled and said, "Seniors, this is the famous President Qin in the Northern Sand continent." Qin Fun realized that Lin Hao was here to help him recruit forces, and he felt grateful. The China Chamber of Commerce was now one of the top 10 chambers of commerce in the Northern Sand continent. Plus, Qin Fun was the owner of the Spirit Surge pill, so he naturally attracted a lot of forces. The cooperation talks went smoothly, and the China Chamber of Commerce gained more than 20 teleportation points in the Jiangchuan area. Lin Hao chatted with Qin Fun for a while and then left. He knew that Qin Fun would be very busy these days. More people came to visit, and Qin Fun knew some of them. The Hai family's head, Hai Yuanba, the Wen family's head, Wen He, and the Pair Celestial sect's head, Crane Riding Elder, all came. These sects and families were representative of the Pair Continent's 5-star sections. The 2 sect leaders were at the Spirit Detecting Realm, and the Crane Riding Elder was at the peak of Buddha Light 9 changes. However, the 3 of them couldn't recognize Qin Fun because he had attended the Pair Continent's auction as Zhao Feng. However, this was to Qin Fun's liking. If he was recognized, these people wouldn't suspect that he had the map of the Purple Cloud Valley. Qin Fun was not only familiar with the Pair Continent's forces, he even saw the Spiritual Mountain sect master. The Spiritual Mountain sect was just a 2-star sect in the North Sand continent. The reason why Qin Fun welcomed them was that he had met Zhang Yan and Bai Lu when he first came to the Divine Mainland. At that time, Qin Fun brought Lin Bei Bei and the others to join his sect to seek protection. On the way, they met Zhang Yan and his wife. Then, they teamed up and went to the Red Street Market. Qin Fun and the others joined the Spiritual Mountain sect. Ling Daozi, the sect leader of the Spiritual Mountain sect, greets President Qin. Ling Daozi was the sect leader of a 2-star sect, but he was only a First-Realm Saint King. He stood in front of Qin Fun and trembled uncontrollably. Qin Fun wasn't interested in Ling Daozi and went straight to the point. "Are Zhang Yan and Bai Lu disciples of your sect?" Ling Daozi was startled. He didn't know why President Qin would suddenly ask this. Zhang Yan and Bai Lu were really disciples of the Soul Mountain sect, and they were now core disciples that were being groomed. Could it be that they had offended Guildmaster Qin? If that was the case, the entire spiritual mountain sect would be in deep trouble. Seeing how Ling Daozi was too scared to say anything, Qin Fan continued, "You don't need to worry. Zhang Yan and Bai Lu are my friends. You can focus on nurturing them in the future. Also, help me pass on a message. What I said in the past is still valid now. If they don't have a good life, they can come to the spirit kingdom to find me." Ling Daozi trembled as he retreated. Even if you beat him to death, he would never have imagined that his two core disciples were actually friends of President Qin. Ling Daozi even had the thought of giving up the position of sect master to Zhang Yan. Other than the Soul Mountain sect, Qin Fan also met the sect leaders of Bagua Mountain, Golden Cauldron Mountain, and Ancient Tomb sect. When he saw the sect leaders of Golden Cauldron Mountain and Ancient Tomb sect trying to please him, Qin Fan's heart was filled with emotions. When he first came to the Divine Continent, he brought Su Ruoro and the others to seek protection from the sections. At that time, the Hunyuan sect, Golden Cauldron Mountain, and Ancient Tomb sect all fancied Su Ruoro and Zhao Lingxian's nature-defying talents, but not Qin Fan and the others. In the blink of an eye, 2 years had passed. Qin Fan had grown from an ant in the immortal Qi realm to a Buddha Aura second transformation expert, from a nobody to the chairman of the China Chamber of Commerce, and at the same time, built the Spirit Kingdom. The elders of Golden Cauldron Mountain and Ancient Tomb sect could not recognize Qin Fan. They only dared to stand behind their sect leaders, and did not even dare to look Qin Fan in the eyes. These few days, Qin Fan had met many people. Among them, there were even some factions that had opposed him in the past. However, because of his fame in the Northern Sand region, these factions all came to beg for forgiveness. This once again made Qin Fan realize the importance of strength. In 3 days, the China Chamber of Commerce had become even more famous. It had negotiated thousands of business deals and roped in hundreds of forces, big and small. After he was done with the affairs of the Chamber of Commerce, Qin Fan planned to go to White Spirit Mountain. But before he left, he first went to find He Yao. "Qin Fan, you are the best young man I have ever seen in business. With the development of the China Chamber of Commerce, you will surpass my He Yao Chamber of Commerce in less than 10 years. These days, He Yao had seen Qin Fan negotiate business deals and forces, and he sighed in his heart. Qin Fan smiled. "Chairman He Yao, you must be joking. Your He Yao Chamber of Commerce has been established for 100 years and has a strong foundation. It is difficult for the China Chamber of Commerce to surpass it." Ever since he obtained the Spirit Surge Pills recipe, He Yao and Qin Fan had become much closer. He did not beat around the bush and change the topic. "Tell me, why are you suddenly looking for me?" Qin Fan knew that He Yao was a straightforward person, so he said directly, "President He Yao, I plan to leave Merchant City. The people of the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce will definitely target me. I am not afraid of them, but I have built a spirit immortal kingdom outside. I am afraid that the people of the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce will find me there." After He Yao understood the reason, he smiled. "You don't have to worry about that. Now that the China Chamber of Commerce has become one of the top 10 chambers of commerce in the Northern Sand Continent, you are under the protection of Merchant City. Dragon Soul is the honorary president of Merchant City, so his duty is to protect the safety of the Chamber of Commerce in the Northern Sand Continent." Qin Fan came to a realization. In that case, the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce will not dare to openly attack my forces. He Yao looked at Qin Fan with admiration. "That's right. They will not touch your China Chamber of Commerce and Spirit Immortal Kingdom. However, Dragon Soul and Long Outyan are both narrow-minded people. They will definitely do something behind the scenes." Qin Fan was not afraid that the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce would play dirty tricks. He was afraid that Dragon Soul would send people to destroy Spirit Immortal Kingdom in a fit of rage. Sect leader Long had already reached the empty god realm. He did not even need to take action personally. A clone would be enough to destroy everyone in Spirit Immortal Kingdom. Moreover, your China Chamber of Commerce now has hundreds of forces cooperating with you. Even if Dragon Soul wants to deal with you, he will have to consider his own strength. You can do what you need to. If it really comes to that, the Black Radiance Chamber of Commerce will not sit idly by. He Yao reassured Qin Fen. The reason why Qin Fen had come this time was because he wanted to hear this from him. To be honest, the forces that cooperated with the China Chamber of Commerce had uneven foundations. Even if they joined forces, they might not be able to defeat the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce. Moreover, they were only business partners. If the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce really wanted to make a move, those forces obviously would not step forward to help. However, if the Black Radiance Chamber of Commerce joined in, the situation would be very different. Thank you, President He Yao. I have another question. I wonder if the Black Radiance Chamber of Commerce will be heading to the South Pingzhou continent in the near future. I would like to follow and take a look. Qin Fen could not wait to go to the South Pingzhou continent to look for Hua Xianyu. She was a weak girl, and staying in the South Pingzhou continent meant more danger for her. He Yao clearly misunderstood Qin Fen and thought that he wanted to go to the South Pingzhou continent to develop his business. Don't be anxious about this. The Black Radiance Chamber of Commerce is currently collecting some resources that the South Pingzhou continent lacks. It will take at least 2 months before they can set sail. I will inform you when our intercontinent airship departs. Qin Fen quickly expressed his gratitude. He Yao continued, oh yes. The top 10 chambers of commerce in Merchant City will be given free land by Merchant City for development. Your China Chamber of Commerce has already vacated its location. It's on the south side of Merchant City's Central Street. The location is not bad. You can set up the headquarters of the China Chamber of Commerce there. Also, you have been given the title of Honorary Chamber of Commerce Elder by Merchant City. If Merchant City is in trouble in the future, you must do your best to help. Qin Fen did not expect the top 10 chambers of commerce in the North Sand continent to receive so many benefits. Every inch of land in Merchant City was worth tens of billions of spirit stones. Moreover, the title of Honorary Chamber of Commerce Elder was extremely powerful and could not be bought with spirit stones. After chatting for a while, Qin Fen bade farewell to He Yao. Before he left, He Yao gave him a level 6 defensive formation disc. The most powerful one Qin Fen had seen was the level 5 trap formation disc from the Pear Continent auction. He did not expect a level 6 formation disc to appear in the North Sand continent. However, he quickly understood that this level 6 formation disc was most likely brought back by He Yao from another continent. This was because Qin Fen had long heard that the most powerful formation master in the North Sand continent was only a level 5 spirit formation master. Although Qin Fen knew that the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce did not dare to openly attack the China Chamber of Commerce and the Spirit Immortal Kingdom, they would definitely ambush him. Therefore, the moment Qin Fen left Merchant City, he used the 100 transformation mask to change into Jing Shuai's appearance. He stepped on his flying sword and rushed to the Wilderness Valley. He immediately changed into the Soaring Cloud All and spent 5 days and 5 nights rushing back to the Spirit Immortal Kingdom. After several months, when Qin Fen stood before the city gates of the Spirit Immortal Kingdom again, he did not recognize it. He discovered that the Spirit Immortal Kingdom had been rebuilt into the Acropolis City, Hero City. If it were not for the fact that the surrounding terrain had an ancient feel to it, Qin Fen would have thought that he had really returned to Earth. Who is it? This is an important place in the Spirit Immortal Kingdom. Unrelated people, please leave immediately. Just as Qin Fen was reminiscing about the land of China, his grandfather, his father, Qin Duo, Air, and the others, he heard a reprimand. He immediately put away his messy thoughts and saw the guards at the gate glaring at him. He could not help but find it funny that he, the master of the Spirit Immortal Kingdom, was stopped at the gate. "Are you soldiers from the Zhanma Kingdom?" Qin Fan asked. They looked at each other in confusion. The leader of the guards was taken aback, then yelled at Qin Fan, "This is the Spirit Immortal Kingdom. The Zhanma Kingdom no longer exists. Don't talk nonsense." Qin Fan nodded in satisfaction. It seemed that the king of the Zhanma Kingdom, Zhu Chongqin, had performed quite well. Qin Fan planned to help him step onto the path of cultivation. "Get out of the way. I am the king of the Spirit Immortal Kingdom, Qin Fan." It was not easy for him to come back. Qin Fan was anxious to see Lin Bei Bei and the other women, as well as Lu Jia and Yun Zai's group of brothers. As soon as he spoke, the guards' expressions changed drastically. At the same time, several figures flew over and landed around Qin Fan. "You're tuning into the LoveLore Library YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.